Welcome to Seven-Sided Die's Carpathian Adventure. Travel back 700 years to the early 1300s. Castles like this dot the countryside. The Hungarian Empire, or Carpathian Empire, is at its zenith. The nascent Ottomans are on the rise, but neither Holy nor Roman nor an empire, Holy Roman Empire, battles within. England and France fight one another. As the Templars recede into history, the Teutons are on the rise. Welcome to the Carpathian Adventure. This was a great hall. There would have been a roaring fire. It would have been adorned with Gothic windows. This might be where our adventuring party might gather. Let's meet them.
From the kingdom of Aragon, I am Simon Val. I ventured forth with few possessions and little coin, save an ancient tomb I searched to decipher. But I've struggled to find clues, and at times, food. While freezing in the Alps, fate crossed my path with a shining knight and the champions of the sun. Having aided me in a desperate time, they have earned my service and my friendship. Now, using my wizardry, I fight by their side.
I am Balder, a Norseman, a soldier, and an eldritch knight. I left my home to leave politics behind, only to be dogged by it across Europe. I first met the Champions of the Sun outside a small town in Hungary. Together, we battled Ottoman raiders and vampires. The Champions gave me purpose again, and where it takes me, I know not, but I know I want to be a part of it.
I'm Aldrich, and while I grew up an urchin in the narrow confines of Venice, I never seemed to fit in there. Except for this music box, my past is hidden to me. Now north of the Alps, I feel I'm closer to home, wherever that might be. Near the Untersberg mountain, I discovered these intrepid adventurers. Though they're blazing a dangerous path, perhaps they might help me discover who I really am.
I am Borinth, the Cave Bear. I come from a tribe of barbarians that once lived in the mountains of the Badenweiler. While on my sacred spirit quest, my tribe and family were attacked with none left alive. I now seek the power to avenge my people. With my rage, I grow stronger, and with the Champions of the Sun, I seek a path to restore and preserve my people's culture and rid this world of any evil that stands in my way.
I am Matthias, of the House of Bathory, Knight Baron of Carpathia. With my traveling companion, Ambria, I was dragged into a whirlwind path by a rogue monk. But those I have met since then have earned my respect, and, more importantly, my trust.
Welcome to the Carpathian Adventure. Okay, let's see if we're live. Welcome, I'm Tom. Thank you for joining us. We're a group of gamers who get together in real life to play Dungeons and Dragons. Some of us are military, others are in construction, still others retail managers. A few are in IT, we're parents, students, etc. So we do this strictly for fun. We hope you enjoy it nonetheless. There were quite a few thank yous on our open, except one, you. We would like to thank you, our Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter followers, as well as our YouTube subscribers. Thank you for joining us. I forgot to check, but I think we're up around 355 YouTube subscribers. That's awesome, guys. We appreciate every one of you.
If you have not already, please follow on Twitch. Please like on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, please subscribe on YouTube. We're up to, as we said,
It's like a graduating
about
class nowadays.
355. Yeah. If during the stream you follow on Twitch or if you subscribe on YouTube, your username will pop up on the screen. I have seen it happen. During the stream, some of us are watching, in particular, Twitch. Please feel free to comment or ask questions. I have it up behind the DM's wall here. Please feel free to comment or ask questions. While live, we'll endeavor to interact if the opportunity presents itself. To all of our subscribers, again, thank you. What's going on in the campaign? The party is building strength and gathering allies to defeat a powerful vampire named Bayuk Osman Ghazi. In their effort to do so, they've been collecting parts to create a powerful magical weapon. Their quest led them to Schloss Kaiberg in the Swiss canton of Schwyz. Say that 10 times fast. A series of battles and a siege later, they acquired the Heilige Lanze. It took me a long time to get that down pat. Or the Lancehead from the Spear of Destiny. They are now searching for other parts. The party started the last session pub crawling in the small city Stein am Rhein. They started in a tavern filled with monks on one side of the river, where they drank a local brew called Bruit du Monde. Returning to the tavern they were staying at, De Romisch Kriege, they ate a fatty, buttery French meat stew called Froschfleisch. Led by Simon, the party discussed cryptic messages regarding the 21st Grand Master of the Knights Templar, Guillaume de Beaujeu. Ocker rests Guillaume, Royal Anjou died. We got a subscriber, I think. And obtained access to library tomes. Simon came up with two possible meanings. One that outlines a path, another that turns the letters in the acronym to Argrad, which happens to be the name of another vampire they have crossed paths with several times. Solo for a while, Borinth purchased, slaughtered, and then dressed 3 sheep. Staying in a copse of woods, he dried the meat and fashioned a cloak from the sheepskins. Thanking Simon for selflessly donating his previous cloak for their friends, Cartra's corpse, Borinth presented the sheep cloak he fashioned to him. Simon also ordered a new 2-sided cloak, the inside with his family 4-inch amber and red stripes, and the outside black with sun and 6 rays. He also purchased a couple new outfits, one brown and good quality for traveling, and one shades of blue and green and very fine. Collectively, the party found a rare alchemist shop and bought a plethora of healing and other potions. Though they almost forgot, the party returned or rushed back to the monastery atop Stein am Rhein's hill and displayed the Heilige Lanze to the monks who were really looking forward to seeing it. Over the next few days, Simon returned and explored the monastery library. He found a passage that indicated Guillaume de Beaujeu died at the siege of Acre. He was seen walking away by his fellow crusaders from the wall. When they chastised him, he lifted his mail, exposing an arrow in his side, and said, "Je ne me fuis pas, je suis mort, voici la cour." I'm not running away, I am dead. Here is the blow. Later, Simon found another passage regarding the name Argrad. This passage said, Argrad met a woman named Carodoice. The two became lovers, yet he scorned her, keeping with the theory that hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Carodoice cursed Argrad. To break the curse, Argrad made a deal with Baphomet. In Carodoice's mind, Argrad wants her back. He just doesn't know it. But she wants something from him. We got very loud crickets down here. Sorry about that. I think that's Reiner.
My goodness.
But she wants something back to Carodoice wants something from Reiner. She wants his heart, literally. Returning to the tavern, the party discussed whether or not Ghazi was still watching them. Ghazi's medallion, rather, returning to the tavern, the party discussed whether or not Ghazi was still watching them. They discussed Ghazi's medallion, Kartra's holy symbol, Argrad, Karo de Itze, Benelux, and played another game of Der Hammerschlagen. Before departing Stein am Rhein, Simon picked up his new digs. Balder picked up his blackened and gold-trimmed armor that has a slot for the medallion he stole from Osman Ghazi. Balder's quite spectacular armor is also covered with numerous gold flowers that, when examined closely, look like tiny faces screaming. Riding a day.
+5 charisma.
Exactly. Riding a day. And following the wide river north, the party entered rolling terrain covered with thick, dark pine woods. While riding, somewhat unusually, it snowed. Then, with the light snow reducing visibility and further darkened by mist and thick woods themselves, the air smells of lush loam. With the setting sun, the party emerged from the wood in front of a large village, surrounded by a stout wooden palisade. A tower stood in front of the village, somewhat unusual in that it's detached from the walls. Questioning the guard, or the village idiot, as Borinth referred to him, the guard told them that the tower is used for human sacrifices that stop the wind. With that, outside the walls, we rejoin the party in the Badenweiler. Welcome back, guys.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Yes, indeed.
Oh,
Okay, Reinhard, I'm sorry for forgetting you to ask you to mute your microphone at the top. We are back. You guys are outside the walls of the village of. But you don't know the village.
Mm-hmm.
You're outside the walls of a village, and what you see, it's a little bit windy. It's snowing. It's not like heavily snowing, but it's just very odd for this time of year for there to be any snow at all. And they had just spoken with Borinth, and Borinth chastised them for being idiots. What are you guys doing?
Are the gates open or closed?
They are open. The gates are wide open. He says, Kommt, mitkommen. Charge? Charge!
Another town that we're gonna burn to the ground before we leave.
Well, I guess we'll start walking in, and I guess as I'm passing through the gate, I'll look up to him. What is the name of this place?
This is the Badenweiler.
Badenweiler. That's the name of the town? Badenweiler?
Yes, we're not very original. Badenweiler and Badenweiler.
Ah, I see. It's easier to remember.
I was gonna say that name sounded familiar.
All right, well.
walking in, did we see anything out of place? Anything catch the eye as you walk into the center?
You see, as you walk in, you see kind of what you see. There's thick woods around you. So the area around it looks something like, I don't have space to put this up there today, looks something like this. There are thick trees just in the somewhat obscuring visibility. It's snowing. It's probably not that heavy though. It's snowing, which is quite unusual for this time of year. And as you enter, the buildings are themselves clay and wooden pillars, covered with straw and covered with, in some places, with pieces of slate and or wooden shingles. It doesn't look like a wealthy town. It doesn't look poor. It's not like a shanty town by any stretch of the imagination, but it's certainly not a wealthy town. The buildings are relatively clustered together. You see some folks moving in and around the street. They do nod to you as you enter. They look very humble people, very like salt of the earth or coal of the earth in this part of the region, if you will. Folks, there's probably not that much salt up this far northwest, but foresters, woodsmen, coal miners, river workers,
The usual.
but not wealthy merchants necessarily that you would see in perhaps even Stein am Rhein or Munich where you were, which was obviously a very wealthy town, and some of the other places like Salzburg, and certainly not like Constantinople, which was of course a huge, massive town. The guards seem in relatively leisurely positions. They're more like they're just looking out. They kind of wave to you as you enter. Up ahead, do you go through the gates?
Yeah. Yes.
You go through the gates. Up ahead, on one side, you see a larger building, probably this one over here. A much larger building. The door opens and closes, and as it opens and closes, you can hear some music coming from it. There's some small windows. It's a large wooden hammer hangs over the front of the building. The building itself, clay and wood pillars make up most of the building's outer structure. It's difficult to see through the frost-covered windows.
I want to talk to, I guess, one of the guardsmen that's not on the wall, if there's one.
Sure, there's like a small, I don't know what you would call it, palisade, not a palisade, but as if somebody were to have, you do a quick deducement and you figure out that small section just inside the gates, as if somebody were to have broken through the gates, it would be like a last defense position, so to speak. There's a guard up there, he's kind of leaning against, guten Abend, wie geht's?
What kind of beasts do you need to keep at bay with walls such as this? Are the wolves formidable in this area? The bears?
I mean, there are wolves, but no, I mean, it's really just to keep an eye out. You look at the walls up and down them, they don't have that many guards out, considering the sheer size of it. You probably see maybe a half dozen, but no, it's everything's pretty good now since Sigismund worked out how to defeat the wind.
Sigismund? Who is that?
Sigismund, the knight. He returned from Anatolia.
He is here?
Yeah, well, yeah, most of him is, but
most of him?
yes. Well,
What parts are missing?
He lost his legs, but to the wind after he got back. I mean, it's a terrible shame that he.
How did the wind take his legs?
He picks up on a little bit of your adventurer's cant, and he's like, I maybe you should ask him that. It was like it's just like he was something passed him and he flew up in the air. They took that night. They took a half dozen or so of the men of the village, and since then they haven't. He worked out something else. He came up with another plan, and it's been working very well.
And what is that plan?
Oh, well, the tower out front. We
Yes, I saw it. Lovely construction. Looks very sturdy.
Well, Sigismund can tell you about it. It was his idea. I don't want to take credit for it or anything like that.
Well, okay, fair enough. But what is its purpose?
It's where the sacrifices go.
Like sheep?
No.
I think he
No.
means people.
People.
Yeah,
A man.
I was hoping not. People from the village or others that you find that walk through the gates?
Well, if we get a volunteer, then we won't have to come from the village.
Terrible question.
Just kind of hold my hammer up. We won't be volunteering.
I don't want to be here.
Normally, people don't volunteer, so sometimes we have to draw straws. But occasionally, people volunteer. There's a lot to be said for volunteering.
And what happens if you don't sacrifice anybody?
Wow.
How bad does this wind get?
The wind gets pretty bad. It goes through and it sweeps through the town and takes what it wants.
Like people's legs?
I I don't think it wants people's legs. It takes away people, but it won't take away the disabled.
People. This doesn't sound like wind to me.
Well, certainly I've seen it. It just looks like wind.
Well, I'm sure you've seen wind.
What does wind look like?
He goes in the snow in front of him and he swirls his hand like this. It looks like this, except bigger sometimes.
Yeah, of course, bigger.
Simon, I don't like this.
I don't like this either.
I thought it was a nice demonstration.
Yeah, sorry, I tried.
No offense. No offense to you, sir.
When you think about it,
It was good.
the
It
wind
really
looks like
tr-
the absence of it. It's the things happening around it, and the wind. That's it.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Gave me a good
Absolutely.
picture.
I appreciate all the information you've given us. You were very forthwith. Thank you.
He tosses a gold coin at you and ignores the others.
It is a rich town.
No, not really. But
That was all we had.
It was everything.
Here's it.
It's okay. I drew the short straw, so you guys don't need it anymore.
Wait, short straw? I thought you weren't volunteering.
No. Don't worry. The current volunteer is his name I think is Orphan, and he did actually volunteer. When you meet him, you'll know why.
Okay.
Where can we find this orphan?
Oh, he's probably in the tavern. Wutensklagen. Klager.
When is he scheduled to, meet the tower?
Well, based upon the weather, he'll go up there tonight. Doesn't mean he'll join the wind tonight, but he'll probably go up there tonight.
You know it's supposed to be spring, right?
Yes. Well, the wind comes with the cold
Oh.
for some reason. It's kind of an indication that the wind's coming.
Fabulous.
Or other things.
Well, let's. Would Sigismund be in the tavern as well, or does he have a residence where he is more likely to be found?
He is a resident, but he's like an honored citizen of the town, so he's probably in the tavern.
Oh, okay. Well, I suppose we shall venture in there, then.
Or we could be on our way.
Yeah.
Let them to their wind.
Make sure nobody closes the gate behind us.
There's no reason. As long as Orphan does, keeps his end of the bargain.
Okay.
I mean, you did say you volunteered, so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's pretty good to volunteer if you don't mind being taken by the wind later.
Does your family get something in compensation?
No, but, well, Sigismund can explain it to you.
Like your name on a wall, anything?
That's a good idea. We should carve people's names on the posts.
Like
out
a
front.
memorial, like a list of
Yes.
the people that have allowed you to survive by giving their own lives.
That's a very good idea. Although it'd be quite a lot of names after a while, I guess. I mean, it'd probably be kind of discouraging. Maybe we could just write over other names after a while, once the other ones are forgotten.
Maybe like a plaque that has sacrifice of the month.
Yes.
I mean, it'd be nice to know how many counts of murder we're charging this Sigmund guy for.
Well, it's far better than it used to be.
I don't know if it's murder if they volunteer.
Yeah, murder's a harsh
He
word.
said some.
Also, I'm freezing. Why are we talking outside? Maybe we talk inside somewhere.
I think we are in there.
Are we inside?
Yeah, let's go.
Well, you're in the
Yeah, we're
we're in
over
the
like
town.
bunch of areas.
standing outside. You are still outside.
Well, then to the tavern, as one says.
Okay.
Tom, do you have a pen or pencil I can borrow?
Of course. Which would you prefer?
I'd prefer a pencil if you have a pencil. But I'll take a pen.
Actually, I don't have a pencil.
Then I'll take
So
a
I
pen.
am willing to agree with Borinth.
Thank you.
It is a crime to be this stupid. And does anyone know anything about what kind of beast would cause this? Because it is not wind.
ever since that terrible dream, I have seen nothing but horrors on my travels with you all. It is nothing but terrible, terrible things. This is one of many.
Matthias, have you known vampires to be able to do this?
My audio dropped out slightly. To do what exactly?
Create this wind. I don't think I've ever seen them do that.
A wind?
This has to be some kind of beast.
I do not recall encountering a vampiric wind. Though, admittedly, it's been a while since I last encountered him, at least.
Well, I mean, it's up to you guys.
I cannot say for certain, though
Do we
I do
stay
not
here and slay this
recall
monster?
that.
Well, we're already here, and I'm kind of hungry, so, I mean, the sun is going to set soon. I mean, I would prefer not to be out there mistaken for the sacrifice for the wind.
Alright.
Maybe we better just spend the
do it.
night.
I'm kind of curious, just because I feel very safe knowing that there's a sacrifice that's not me. But I feel also bad that I want to see something like that.
True, maybe we can make sure Orphan does find his way to the top of that tower.
I like this plan. I think it is okay.
You venture in toward the tavern. Once you enter the gates, it's probably a slightly larger village than you thought it was. It goes deeper, and they're all low structures made of stone, clay, and wooden frames. You see the tavern in front of you. Again, it has a large wooden hammer hanging from a wooden something or other, hanging from a wooden something or other. Entering the tavern through a huge, heavy wooden door, you're welcomed with clapping hands and the smell of alcohol. A female bartender, is a little preoccupied, but still managed to give you a short wave as you walk in, as if she does it for all of the customers, though. Everybody seems somewhat raucous inside. They look like they're having a good time, as if they're celebrating something. Heavy wooden beams support an upper floor, and torches are attached to them. The walls are loaded with hundreds of memorabilia. It looks like individuals' items, all signed and most likely donated by customers. The tavern itself is packed, and locals seem to be the primary clientele. There seem to be a large group of people gathered around a rather scrawny-looking guy. An individual. You look and you see a very nervous, skinny, jittery man trying to smile. It looks as though he has not slept in days. On either arm is a somewhat bored-looking young lady, and every time he turns to them, they seem to smile at him and reach in and kiss him. And then as he turns away, their face just sort of goes.
Well, that looks like the sorry fellow over there, eh? How much of a sacrifice? I can't imagine whatever it is going to be satisfied with that.
We'll see.
That's like half a sacrifice.
Well, hopefully my hammer can do a little bit better than he can. We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we'll be happy with that.
Well, huh. Do you want to talk to him or shall we eat first?
I want to talk to this other guy.
Oh, the knight?
Sure.
Do we see
I can ask the bartender.
a disabled knight anywhere in the?
Sorry, guys.
You make your way into the tavern. It's pretty crowded. You kind of weave in between. It seems pretty ruckus, like they've been drinking for a while, celebrating for some reason. And everybody's coming up to this scrawny-looking guy, and they're patting him on the back, wishing him luck, and telling him, have another drink. He quickly knocks it back, spilling it all over himself as they continue to drink in his favor. Off in the far corner, you see a knight sitting at what you assume is a knight. He has some armor on, a tunic that looks like it's rather worn, as if it might have been a Templar knight's tunic at one point. Rather beaten and weather beaten. And he's sitting at the table. There are a couple individuals around with him as well. The barkeep comes around the corner and comes over to you. May I get you anything to drink?
Yes. Yeah.
Ale or the local house brew? We have a very fine local house brew. It's not cheap, but it can make you very wealthy too.
Sure, have a few rounds brought to that table.
How does a brew make you wealthy?
Oh, you're not familiar with it.
No. This is our first time in the Bandolier of Bandolier.
Badenweiler.
Badenweiler.
The first time in the Badenweiler.
Badenweiler of Badenweiler.
And the first time in Voten's Klag, I gather.
Voten's Klag? Is that the name of
Yes,
this place?
Voten's Lament. Yeah, poor son of it. You know what I mean.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, we'll have...
You probably wished for better than this.
Than this? We have seen worse.
Don't break that! Oh, too late.
We have seen worse. This is actually pretty good.
Oh, okay.
We will take 5.
5 of the house brew?
Yes.
They are going through quite a bit of your glasses.
Yeah, it's all good. We're gonna make a lot of money on this. I mean, it's, I think orphans are going up on the tower tonight. So
that's what we
there'll be a
heard.
lot of drinking.
All right.
Does he have to climb the ladder himself? Because...
No, somebody will help him up.
Okay, good, because I didn't think he's in any condition to climb the ladder himself.
Yeah, I'm not even sure it's necessary to be up there, to be honest with you, but it's kind of a guy thing to be up on top. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could probably just leave him in the cold. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Well, okay. I guess the drinks then. Thank you.
Okay, she scurries off at that point. And what are you guys doing?
Well, out of character.
Out of character.
Talk to Tom. I'm from this region.
Yes.
Right? So, have I ever been in this town that we're in now?
Let's roll a percentile.
Chill out, honey bunny.
What did I roll?
2d10s.
Oh, just 2d10s?
Yep. Yeah, if you've got, you had one in your hand there a moment ago. Another one.
That's my percentile.
Revolver copies.
It doesn't have to be those. 2d10s will do the same thing.
Okay.
Or 2d20s will do the same thing.
Ooh, 91.
91. You have been. This looks, as you came through the gates, this town there's just something reminiscent about it to you. You look back and you're like, was I here as a youth? Was I here? It seems wickedly familiar. And as you walk the streets, you ever had that sense where you're like, it's like deja vu, but you can't place it.
Yeah.
You're walking the streets and you pause for a moment and you can remember back to your youth that there was Johnny Joe or whatever his name was right over there and you kicked him.
Okay.
And it brings a smile to your face.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, I shouldn't laugh about that.
No, because then he kicked me back.
Exactly.
And then we punched each other in the face.
And so it was awesome.
Yeah,
and you're like, it just seemed, but you're at the same time you're questioning, was this the place? But it seems very, very, very much like it.
Okay. Okay.
I would like to go sit next to this. What was his name?
Sigismund.
Sigismund?
Sigismund.
I would like to sit next to him.
You walk over towards Sigismund.
I'll offer him ale.
Sigismund. He looks up at you and he goes, Balder?
Do I know you?
Balder.
I think
Of
I
course,
remember this name.
You remember? You don't remember me?
I don't.
We fought it.
I remember.
Watch that thing.
I remember this name.
Pretty rowdy of it.
We fought at Prusa together.
Yeah. I think I remember
Boris?
this. Yeah.
I do remember that.
I remember you.
You've got new friends with you. I don't know these other two.
Well,
Whatever happened to what was his name? Kip and Jumnus and the crazy psycho
Some of them.
young kid who.
The world has taken him on other paths.
Yeah, and some of them didn't make it.
Some got killed.
Are you referring to the warlock? Out of curiosity.
I didn't know
Of
what
course
he
he
was.
is. Yes.
He is the leader of
The scream in the background.
Yeah. What brings you out here?
On one hand, it is very sad, but on the other it is not.
He's the architect of this sacrifice thing.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, remember
Oh,
when
okay.
we were last at the.
I assume they assume you saved the town.
Well, I guess in a way I did. Remember, I told you when I left, we were at the tavern. The what was it? The Templar, the Teutonic Templar.
Yes.
And we met there.
Yeah.
I think it was outside in Sagut, and we drank there, and we were fought at the Battle of Prusa together, or at the Siege of Prusa.
Right.
And that's
All
where
coming back to me.
your friend Louvier, I think his name was, ran off in the dark
Yeah.
chasing drugs or something very bizarre.
Well, what brings you here?
Well, remember, I said I had to get home because there was trouble here, that, there was something killing all of the people. Watch it, would you please? There was somebody killing all of the people here, and I had to come home. And
I
just
find
like
it
you.
interesting that you say something and not exactly what everybody thinks it is.
Well, it's
It was the
obviously
wind.
not wind.
It was the wind. Well, I'm telling you, it was the wind.
It is not wind.
It
Yeah,
was
I'm-
the wind, but what is it now?
It was wind. The wind.
Well, okay. Perhaps it wasn't actually wind in the sense that, like, someone hears something and then it's just the wind. Perhaps what we're encountering here is something that takes the form of a wind.
I'm telling you, it was wind. But that's fine. If you want to
Have
believe
you
it was
ever
some-
tried to follow
We
the beast?
fought it. We fought it. You fought it, my friend. And he lifts
You
up two
fought?
stumps. And he's like, and this is what I got for it.
Hang on, Rainer. Hang
He
on.
took my legs from the bottom half. Now I've got stumps here.
I did
So-
not notice that. You have my condolences.
Well, it's because I'm sitting down.
Again, you have my condolences and deepest sympathies.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It turns out it's okay, though. I mean,
Well, with no legs, you're probably soon to be sacrificed.
no, apparently, the wind doesn't want those that are physically disabled. But
And it wants that guy.
it doesn't seem right. Well, surprisingly, it's okay with that.
I think.
You raise lots of questions.
I think.
How would you know?
How would I know? How would
do
I
you
know?
know that?
Because when we put the sacrifice up on top of the tower, the wind takes them and leaves.
Well, the wind hasn't taken Orphan.
Well,
Hasn't been
it's
to
young.
the tower.
Hey,
Isn't it?
When you fought the wind, did you fight the wind here?
Yes, right here, outside the city, and inside the city, for that matter. Yes, indeed.
I think blood is blood, right? So
What does
I have a feeling that
what does that mean?
that means
don't- I
that
don't
I
know.
believe
It's about.
It's-
I'm gonna
Vampires.
turn away a little bit and just say to them, I think it's vampires. We
I
know
think
that they can be invisible.
I'm thinking the same thing, but
They're
I've never
undead.
seen vampires do this.
Brings the cold. Well, they have a pretty sweet deal. They're getting served up their meal, so they just keep. It's easier for them, no? They put their meal out. They eat when they need something. They eat, and then they leave the village alone.
Oh yeah, I mean, it could be any beast doing that. But
Yes.
It seems very
Vampires.
likely, right?
know.
If they have anybody who's
I
physically
mean, how
disabled,
many
or-
vampires are there in the world? Like 4 or 5?
they're everywhere.
More than
They're
that.
everywhere.
there's a whole order of them.
Like 8 tops? How many?
Many.
What are we talking? What are we talking?
There's
hundreds.
more than that.
Hundreds.
Yeah, they
Thousands,
give
maybe.
me nightmares
Probably,
on
most
occasion.
likely thousands.
Thousands.
Yeah, most likely. It's a big world. Somebody's got to help that guy that just fell.
Pick them up, throw them back over. But I mean,
You seem very concerned about this. Listen, Orphan has had for the past month anything he's wanted to eat, anything he's wanted to drink, all the company he could possibly want, any unmarried whatever he desires is his company for the evening. it's a pretty good deal. He volunteered for this. We don't always get volunteers. After Orphan leaves with the wind, we'll solicit another volunteer. If we don't get another volunteer, well, then we have somebody draw straws and they get to enjoy. And they become basically the king of the town until the next wind comes along.
So it's like once a month?
It varies. It's very kind of hard to predict. The wind seems to go from town to town. I've convinced some of the other towns that not everybody's doing it this way.
Does the snow go with it after you appease it?
The snow will leave. Yes.
What would cause this?
How could we follow it?
This is weird.
I am
Is there a way to
feeling
put something
very
on
confused.
If it's,
with
This
magic?
entire situation is not like anything I've ever
I think I
encountered
could
before.
see it.
And I don't know how to feel about it.
I mean, we have two options.
I mean, I can keep them from getting taken if we want.
Well, what if
Yes, boring.
we
It is
go
good to see
we
you.
go back? We have some history together.
Of course.
We fought together.
Yes,
You know, yes,
Borinth.
yes.
My
So
friend.
you know
I'd get up, but
our
I
place
can't.
in the world. No, it's fine, my friend. You know our place in this world, and what if just this one time, we were to maybe try to end this win situation?
Borinth, what do you suggest? I tried
What
to
do you
end
have
it when
to
I
lose?
came home. What else do I have to lose? I guess my arms.
No,
But-
no. I mean, we will attempt to handle this situation.
Why is he volunteering us for something again?
What is it you want to do?
I'm from
have
this
come in here.
region.
We should have
This
walked
this place here brings back memories of my childhood. I can't stand to let this place be tormented and its people sacrificed because of some sort of wind beast creature or something. I have to at least try to end this.
I feel like those are strong
I
words.
say we put your sacrifice out there.
I
and
do
we-
feel, I
we
do
set a
feel
trap
bad for
for it.
them. These people are too stupid to know any better.
I mean, that guy.
What?
First of all, that guy.
What?
First of all, that guy you have at the front gate. I mean, come on. You got to have some sort of a test.
You don't
for
feel
how
out
smart
of
they
place
are.
here.
Yeah.
You don't feel a little bit unmatched.
Listen, I'm a private
Not
citizen who
height-wise.
came here.
I don't think that's a height.
That
thing.
guy's a government employee. I can't take any credit for that or responsibility. But
It's just one time.
what are you going? So we put Orphan up there, and what are you
We
suggesting?
wait for the wind beast.
Fine. If you want to wait for the wind beast, wait for the wind beast.
How long do you think that would take to wait?
Well, looking outside, he glances toward one of the windows, which is frosted over at this point. He glances over toward it, and he's like, probably sometime tonight, but I could be wrong. The young lady comes over with your drinks, and she drops them down in front of you, and she says, I hope you enjoy them. I hope you enjoy the golden knot. And he goes, oh, you got the golden knot. Good for you. Okay. There's somebody who's passing it now. Anyway.
What?
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I'm not interested. I'm just saying that maybe, while he's out there tonight, that we wait for it. We wait for whatever this is.
Yeah,
If I can, even if I can get a glimpse of it, if I could.
You're
get a
welcome
hold
to
of
do
it.
so. You're welcome to do so. I'll
Okay.
tell you, there have been some who have somehow managed to defeat the wind. I can't
Okay.
tell you how. And then it left, but it came back later, the next night,
What
a
do you
couple
mean by
nights later,
defeat?
and stronger.
The
As
people
in-
in the village that went up and have come back down.
Yes, or a collective group. Before I got here, they told me that a collective group of men went out and would fight and swing swords at the wind and drove it off. But then it would come back even stronger the next night, or sometimes a few nights later.
Do we know any of these men? Do you know of any of them? Would we be able to speak to maybe one or
Yeah,
two?
most of them are gone now.
And gone in what way?
As in died, dead. The wind
okay.
eventually killed them.
Oh, okay.
When the wind came back stronger,
Okay.
it would eventually
Do we all
Did they say if
And it
they
would keep coming back stronger and stronger. I mean, so
when they say
this
the
worked.
wind, is there any type of shape or form to this wind, or is it invisible? It's just something
it's
you
just
feel.
Like it's not even something you can.
Show him the thing. The guy showed us outside. Show him what it looks
Yeah,
like.
well, I can't do that here. I mean,
What is
There's
it?
a guy outside. He does a really good demonstration. He'll show you what it looks like.
He takes his hand and he swirls the snow on the ground.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very believable.
Yeah.
But also, the story seems ridiculous. I'm just going to put. this
I'm
out
just
there.
I'm just wondering if the if the
so,
wind
so
has
says
shape.
so says. What is your name?
I'm Mikolash. Nice to meet
Mikolas.
you.
So says Mikolas
Nice to
to
meet
one
you.
zero-legged Sigismund. Very nice to meet you. Excuse me for not getting up.
No, please.
Sigismund.
Excuse me for not introducing myself earlier.
And you are
I am Simon.
Simon and Mikolas.
Yeah.
Pleasure. I'm glad you joined. I think you're still called the Champions of the Sun, right,
Yeah.
Boulder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Champions.
Among other things.
So the wind, does it have a shape, or is it like a cloud? Is it like a
It
fog?
varies. Sometimes it's multiple small clouds. Sometimes it's one
Okay.
gigantic cloud. Sometimes
Okay.
it's
So it's not invisible. It's
well,
something
it's nothing you can see, and it's there's nothing physically there.
Can you hear anything?
Oh yeah,
Before,
sometimes you
during,
can
or after?
hear, and sometimes you can, and that's, I mean, you see the tracks sometimes, and sometimes you see the, you hear the wind, and that's how you judge. And it's not like always a, like a swirling mass right there. Sometimes you just have to guess where it is, and and swing away at it, and that's what we did. And,
Can I highlight that one part you said you heard or you saw tracks?
well, it doesn't. It's not always, but yes, sometimes they leave tracks, especially when they take the sacrifice. They go off. You can see them going off. It's not consistent, but you can see the tracks disappearing in the snow, and then the snow recedes with them,
the tracks look like
like wind.
Wind tracks.
wind
you know.
tracks,
You know.
Yeah, just wind.
blowing snow.
Like swirls in the snow, yeah.
So the tracks would go to the steps leading up to the sacrificial tower, and then down the steps of the tower, and then away.
Well, I've never seen the steps on the tower, but
Right,
yeah,
because it's
but yeah.
Just to assume that probably
Sometimes there's some screaming involved, not from the wind.
Sometimes that's impressive.
Some strong
So the
volunteers.
sacrifice
Yes,
goes on
yes,
top of the
yes.
tower and just sits up there and waits.
Jesus.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you provide during your sacrifice? Do you put anything else up there for them?
Well, we give them a
Last
stiff
level.
drink. Sometimes.
No.
They're
I
gonna kill
mean,
it.
A barrel.
is there anything, any other supplies or anything like that that they take? or-
I don't need anything.
Okay.
Is
mean-
that why you hang all these things on the side
Well,
of the
these are
walls?
all individual, some of the personal belongings of those who've gone and sacrificed themselves. They assign them, and now,
Some of these things look kind of nice. Nobody ever uses these again.
well, I mean, they're personal memorabilia. Childhood puppets.
There's a lot of stuff on the walls.
That's my point. There's a lot of people. We have to do something. I can't let this. It's.
Can you imagine what the birth rate is in this village? To
It's
keep
very
the
high.
To keep
Well,
the
look how much
population?
alcohol they're serving. I mean,
It's very high.
Have you
Well,
all just-
remember, the sacrifice gets,
Yeah, that's true.
Have you all just thought about leaving?
Well, it's a very
Oh,
nice
yeah.
area.
There's a town like
Oh, this is your home. People don't just leave their home.
How are you gonna get through all the broken glass?
I think this is the wind's home.
It gets cleaned up in the morning.
Nobody can leave the tavern because it's covered in broken
Listen,
glass.
And has the bartender ever thought of using wooden cups?
Yes, they use wooden bowls for the game here,
Not
but
sanitary.
that's about it.
it keeps the local pottery maker in business.
The glass blower and
Yeah.
such.
All right, well, let's have a couple drinks and something to eat before we go out and sit in the snow.
This whole town is silly.
Well, let's talk
We're
about
not silly. We're
I'm
not
gonna have a
silly,
regular
Paul.
ale, and then
Okay.
I'm not gonna have this gold.
Good, I'll grab his
I will
that
have
was
the
put in
gold,
front of him and
not
slide it over to
gold
me,
and
so
not.
I have two.
Golden cotton. Okay. You drink the golden cotton.
Yeah.
You look over you glance over as to where it came from. The innkeeper had dipped a large ladle into an open keg with floating lumps of coal and then poured it into the mugs.
Sounds
You notice that she dropped onto the table with each of the mugs. She dropped onto the table an oilcloth bag that looks something like a piping bag that you would use to pipe a cake.
Fabulous.
Cool. Can we just
Okay.
put this on?
Cheers, fellas.
It?
Cheers.
This on it?
There's nothing in the piping bag.
Not yet.
Taking a sip, it's
Here
a
we
bit
go.
chunky. And you initially note that it has a strong charcoal flavor, followed by a delicious, warm, golden honey flavor. Who drinks it?
I mean, it's not bad.
I'll try a little bit.
Pretty
Okay.
good on the way down.
Are you sure? Are you sure, boy?
I'm sure.
Okay. Well, we
would
ordered
be-
5. I will take. I will
would
take
be a
yours, I suppose.
travesty to
I
not
feel
try your own home
uneasy,
brew.
but I'm
This
curious.
is not my homebrew. This is not what we would drink.
Okay.
The young lady brings over to you an ale. Is anybody eating anything?
Yeah,
She
Yeah,
seems-
that would be a good idea.
I'll have a pig.
A pig. We don't have any pigs. We'll bring you what we have for the night. It's a stew. Is that all right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll take
very
3.
good. Three
Stew with
stews.
charcoal in it.
There's no charcoal in our stew. I promise you.
A loaf of bread, maybe.
Yeah, the stew comes with bread.
Oh, fabulous.
Perfect.
3.
3. So 5, 6,
7.
9.
7 stews. Very well. And she
Unless you want to,
darts
I don't
off.
have to deny
She's
you the second
obviously
portion.
going from table to table and making good money tonight. It looks like.
She's the richest person in the town, probably.
What's the guy's name that was going to be sacrificed? Did we get his name?
Orphan.
Orphan.
Orphan. Yeah.
He is in fact not an orphan.
No, not spelled orphan. As in.
And he's drinking in a bar?
Yes, he's in the bar.
Yes.
Yeah,
He
he's
is
he's
celebrating
surrounded
his
by
final night.
people. He's sitting in a chair, drinking.
Um,
They're all hooting and hollering, smashing glasses on him. Yeah.
I am going
Give a proper
to
send off.
focus my thoughts through my necklace. My bear claw necklace. Scan around. See if I see anything perhaps that could be hiding or invisible. Any type of, I guess it's undead. I never quite understood this. I think it's undead invisible.
Barbarossa's thing.
Yeah, Barbarossa's thing.
you glance around and looking up. I don't know if you had taken in all of this.
That does not sound
That went
good.
into his eyes.
Jumped off the balcony.
And then his
I didn't hear
eyes.
the intro to the tavern, just so you know. I
All of the
listened up
tavern-
to that point when I was
All
walking.
of the tavern. It's a clay building with wooden pillars,
Crash the
really
table.
thick wooden pillars. Entering the tavern through a huge wooden door, it's a large room with a balustrade all the way around it, thick, heavy balustrade. Wooden beams support an upper floor. And there are torches attached to them. On the walls are located hundreds of memorabilia, all signed by or donated by customers, if you will. The tavern
turning into
itself
fighting.
is packed. You glance up in the rafters and you glance around, and you see various locations where it looks like some people are sleeping for the night, for want of better words, but nobody's asleep at this point. There's no rooms off the tavern per se. It's like one large common room.
It's like a public house.
Yeah, something like that, with a large balcony that kind of wraps around the inside, and there's a kind of a modified, something between a ladder and a staircase going up to that balcony, if you will. And people are just having a good old time in here. You glance up into the rafters and looking around, and nothing seems out of the ordinary. It just seems cluttered with all types of personal memorabilia, little teddy bears, little wooden trinkets and baubles,
I'm looking through
necklaces.
them now, just trying to see if anything sparks a memory. Anything seems familiar to me.
Well, percentile die.
Ooh, 91 again. What's the chance of this? See that? 2 times in a row. 91.
You glance up, but not up where the memorabilia that looks like it was donated
But up behind the bar, an image catches your eye. There's a hammer hanging from a thong on a wall. It's heavily worn. It's wooden, and a wooden staff with a wooden hammer itself, with a lanyard on one end. And the hammer head looks like it had been painted almost like a tartan pattern at one point. And you remember as a youth having, it's like if you've seen a toy and you're like, I had that toy as a kid. And you look up and it looks like I had that toy as a kid.
But I remember it as a toy?
You know it's not a real hammer.
Oh, okay.
It's a wooden hammer as if it was made for a youth, and it's hanging on the wall.
Okay.
And it just looks eerily familiar.
Can I go up closer to it?
You weave your way in between the crowd, and you make your way up to it.
I want to, I'm going to put my hand on it. Like as if when I was a kid, the way I remember holding it. And just trying to see if it, just the sensory of it kind of triggers any thoughts for me. Is there anybody around that maybe like works? It's behind the bar, you said?
Yep, it's like slightly behind the bar. Nobody's stopping you. There are
Nobody's
people,
stopping you.
It's not just you. It's just that this place is chaos at this juncture.
Yeah, I'm looking for anybody that might know the history of it. But yeah, I'm gonna grab it and hold it and just try to see if it brings back any sort of, like it triggers anything in my mind.
Roll again, percentile die. This time with advantage.
It's a 75, and that's a 100. Is that considered a 100?
10 and a 0, yeah.
All right, that's
100.
Yeah.
You reach up and you grab it, and it's almost like you can see the marks. It's like if you had marked an item as a child with a pen, it's like you turn the object and there's that pen mark. And something just resonates to you. And on one level, you're like, no, this is not possible. And on another level, part of you were saying, this was mine.
I don't know what to make of it.
A man comes out from behind the bar. He's been helping the young lady fill the mugs, and he goes, excuse me if I get by you. Is that yours?
I think it was.
It's been there a long time. You've been away for a long time then.
Been away for a long time. How did this get here?
I don't know. It's been here as long as I can remember. Who's your father?
Oh God, I'm not gonna remember the name.
That's all right. That happens to a lot of people in here. Have you had the golden knot?
No.
Oh.
I haven't.
Rough childhood.
Hold on.
Hang on. I have no.
The golden knot.
Boris?
Well, you're not with him right now, but you're not that far away. You could get up and walk up to him if you wanted.
Cave Bear Senior.
I'm getting worried.
Screw.
Do I notice him staring at the thing on the wall?
Roll a perception check with advantage.
My father's name was Faru.
Faru.
Zveru.
Zaru.
Yeah. He was a great leader in this area. I'm Boren, his son.
You're Boren.
I am.
I'm Albrecht. You don't remember me.
I don't.
My wife, Edelland. You suckled on a nipple when your mother wasn't available.
I did that to a lot of women, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about when you were a baby.
Oh right, okay.
She was a milkman.
But that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Well, my father raised me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was a good man. That was a long time ago, Boren. I'm sorry.
He was?
18.
18. Yes, you do see him. He's across the room. It's probably about 30 feet away. You could walk over.
Matthias is getting worried, so He's going to walk over, just try to be nonchalant. Boring. There's something the matter.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm filling mugs for Katrin, if you don't mind.
How did this get here?
I assume your father hung it on the wall when you left. You know, sometimes when children leave the toys, you know.
Yeah, but my father was passed before I left.
Oh, man, I don't know. Boulder. I'm born.
Maybe that's
It begins.
What other news of my family?
You did good. Meditate.
My mother, my sister.
When did they pass? Are they still around?
I don't know. I was separated. I was separated from them. I was, you know, we fought back against the Teutons in the area, and you know, I was taken away. I don't know whatever happened to them.
Boy, that was a long time ago.
I know.
Don't know. I mean, if it's your hammer, you're welcome to it. He's still filling mugs. Katrin seems to be coming up and grabbing them and running around the room.
There's so much time has gone. So many memories were lost. Imagine if they were still around here, you would have seen them, or...
Probably. I recognized your father's name. And what was your mother's name?
Varuga.
I remember the name. Is it possible she went on to, after your father passed, to one of the other towns around? But
I don't. We all got separated and scattered when we were fighting off, and we ended up into small clans, and we had all
we're
these.
still in relatively small clans.
I know.
mean, this is the Tensitari here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
What clan were you?
Oh, jeez. It's been years, Tom. You're killing me.
Testing them.
I don't even remember. I'd have to dig through this. Yeah, I don't remember.
Planet of the Cape Bear.
It's been so long. It's been years since I've even looked at my backstory.
Mr. and Mrs. Cave
It's been like 4 years since I've even looked at my backstory. Yeah, I don't know.
Borinth.
I give up.
Borinth, don't worry about it. Yeah, you'll forget more than that in time.
Yeah.
Have I arrived?
Yes, you have.
Conversation yet?
Yes, you have. I'm sorry.
Borinth, is something the matter?
So Borinth is just like fascinated right now, and it's almost as though he doesn't even hear Mattias asking me questions. Like he is just. My mind is just totally racing away with me. It's like there's memories rushing back, there's questions, and you know, just to feel or see something that I actually remember is just, it's got me almost like paralyzed in thought.
Mattias reaches out and just kind of cautiously taps Borinth's shoulder.
Nothing. I'm just.
Mattias takes hold and just slightly shakes him.
I spin around and grab him by the armor and like lift him up in the air. Like, lift him up in the air.
It's me, Borinth. It's not combat. It's not an enemy. It's me. And I'm not wearing my armor right now.
Yeah, I just blank stare, like a total blank stare.
Borinth?
I need to help these people. I need to help them. There's more here for me. I have to help them.
Something happened. What happened? What's wrong?
I don't know. I don't know what's happened.
What were you staring at?
This was my toy as a child. This hammer was mine. My father left it here.
Wait.
No one knows of my mother. Nobody knows what happened to my sister, but this is where I'm from. These are my people.
But And you did not recognize it?
Not immediately, no. It's a very long time. It's a very small hammer. I'm a very big man.
Out of character, I forget. Do we know anything about Borinth's
No, not really.
confusion?
Did you ever ask?
Oh. No, not really.
In the
What
5
is my
years?
middle name? You know that comedian? That is
I thought it was a legitimate question.
awesome stand-up.
I'm going to turn back to what was the man's name I was talking to again? I'm sorry.
Albrecht. Albrecht. I'm Albrecht.
Do you know anything more about this wind? What is going on here with these sacrifices? And please tell me you have some answers. Tell me the truth.
Meanwhile, Matthias is still being held up by
Yo, yeah. I'm holding you up right. I'm holding you up here, and I'm looking down at this guy. Like,
He's looking at the two of you like,
I'm begging you, please.
we used to fight off the wind. I participated in some of the fights, and we did manage to fight them off. But they wouldn't immediately come back. But sometimes they would come back stronger. Well, they would always. If we fought them off and we were successful, it would come back stronger.
Stronger or more?
I don't know. More, stronger, more winds.
Okay.
And then sometimes it would come back, not just more winds, but huge wind. Like massive. And the swirls in the snow would be so large that, that it would pick up people and throw them.
If I remember, you were a capable man of fighting. Am I not right?
I'm a little bit older than you are.
I know this, but when you take a strike and you hit purchase,
Yes.
right? What did that feel like? Did you slice through it?
It felt like I was hitting ice, like shattering and exploding.
Okay. I'm gonna free this town from this. If it's the last thing I do. This is my home.
No one will object. Welcome home.
We hear that part.
Everyone! This is Borinth and he has returned home! And everyone cheers. Welcome home,
Raise Maddie above my head.
Home?
Oh, what?
I'll put you down, Mattias.
This is not going to be good.
Thank you. I must say
Well,
I am appreciative of being back on my own feet.
What do you think this bag on the table is for?
I still don't understand how you're able to just throw me aloft like that for so long. Casually.
taking a visit.
Do you finish them?
Yeah, I'll finish mine.
Katrin eventually comes out with your stew. She brings it around to each of you.
I'll join back to the table.
Okay. Brings you, it's a large ceramic bowl with like a crisply melted cheese and a large hunk of thick, dark bread. She says, es ist Butterkäse Frosch Eintopf. It's a buttered cheese frog stew.
It's good.
Beneath the melted cheese, you eat it?
Oh, yeah.
Beneath the melted cheese is a thick amber stew with bubbles of butter and chunks of fatty meat. The meat is the texture, something between chicken and duck. By all accounts, I mean, your call. It's really good though. She goes, "Do you need another drink?"
Well, I have his that he wouldn't drink, so I'll just have that one too.
Okay, enjoy. And do you need another ale?
I'll take
Kirsten
it.
says. She says, "I'll bring it over." And she quickly darts off.
I think I will abstain from this point forward.
What's the fun in that, Matthias?
I don't think I'm going to be having any fun.
Boy, did he say you were home?
That's kind of par for the course with Matthias.
This is where I'm from. I am from this place. This man knew my father. He knew my mother.
About this.
That hammer on the bar.
You mean
That was mine
You
as
mean
a
that
child.
hammer in your hand?
Oh, I left it. I didn't take it. I didn't take it. I said I believe it. My father put it here. It belongs here.
So not everything on the wall is from somebody that has died on the
Well, this wasn't on the wall.
tower.
This was like displayed behind the bar.
Displayed.
So he sacrificed himself to the wind.
No, I don't gather. Would I have gathered that's what was meant?
That's up to you.
No.
I mean,
no,
all I know
because my
is that's what
father
they said
died
the stuff
fighting
was for.
the Teutons.
And do you remember when it was left here?
I don't. I don't remember my father ever leaving it here. My father died fighting the Teutons. At least I was led to believe so. I don't remember him.
I don't know. They said everything in this bar
But
was
then-
left by sacrifices.
So okay, Boris, if I may, if your father died, wait,
My father died fighting.
when?
You said you were separated. How
Do
do you
you
know he
remember
died?
giving him the hammer?
What's that? Say that again.
Do you remember giving him the hammer?
No, I was a child. He probably just took it. I don't remember.
Did you see his death?
We were separated. We were all in the. It was this large battle.
So
He
he
trying to
could-
take over the region and
He could
we
have
were-
lived.
I don't. I
Can
saw
I make a
him.
history check?
I saw him just surrounded and just.
But then how would he have gotten the hammer?
I don't know how the hammer got here. I mean, the hammer could have been left in my home. You know, I was much older. I was much older than this hammer. I wouldn't have been using that wooden hammer. I would have been using it as a toy at the time that this all happened.
Maybe we
I was
should
already
find
a
out.
fighting age man.
Maybe we should find out how the process
Am I
works where they put
correct in
these on the
assuming
wall.
that your lifestyle as a child was was either not settled, or it was significantly more rural?
We were not nomadic, but we were pretty close to it. We didn't have
And
walls
this
around our
village did not
villages.
exist when you were younger.
Well, these walls were not around this village. I can tell you that much.
And
Many of these buildings seem familiar, but we would have lived on the outskirts. We wouldn't have lived within this area here. We didn't live within this area. We lived outside.
this may seem strange, but can I make a history check about something?
You can tell me what you're trying to think of, and then I'll decide if it's a history
I'm
check.
trying to just. I'm trying. That's what I mean. I'm trying to see if I would know anything about when a non-feudal group would have been here. When this area was civilized, so to speak.
Watch the armor.
Okay, you can make a history check, albeit with disadvantage. I mean, you're not from this region.
When I remember, like the Romans were passing through here.
Yes.
And they were constantly fighting with the local tribes.
Absolutely.
So that's where my memory was of my father was fighting, and we were overtaken.
According to this, I have a plus 11 to my history.
Okay.
Somehow.
Nerd.
And my lower roll was a 13. So that's a 24.
My history is only a +9. I got 20 in intelligence.
Yeah, but the highest thing I could possibly have is a +9.
He has a magical.
I don't know.
Magical history, man.
Magical mystery rainer.
He's double proficient in that.
You rack your brains with regards to what happened here in this location, and your knowledge of the history is not recent knowledge. It's knowledge from textbooks, and not textbooks per se, but
Classical records, basically.
yes, scriptures, of scrolls rather, large tomes, and as you read, you remember back that you know that this area was the borderland between the Germanic tribes and the Romans, and that some of the tribes were the Botvi, the Frisia, the Sigambri, the Marsi, the Usipeti, the Cadi, the Tensiteri, and the Cadi and the Mariasi. You remember, you don't know enough about them, but you can think, you can't differentiate between them, but you have heard some of the names of the different tribes that resided in this region. And Balder would, or not Balder, Borinth would probably know of these as well. I mean, he may not know it from a scholarly perspective, but that's the information that comes to mind at the moment in terms of the region. You know that they weren't necessarily, that there were nomadics, but they were nomadic because they were fleeing from the Romans. That to the extent that they could establish settlements, that they would, until the Romans would either drive them off or try to incorporate them.
Okay.
But that the Romans left, you also know that the Romans left a very long time ago. I mean,
That the Roman Empire as
literally,
it existed then is long dead.
almost 800 to 900 years ago.
Considering it's the 1300s, that's about 800 years.
Yeah.
Minimum. Borinth. There have not been any even semi-nomadic communities in this region for centuries.
According to your books. But
No,
in between the gaps, we live.
I studied classics for it. It was part of my education to learn the history of the great empire that essentially built Europe. It is simply something that I was expected to know as a noble.
You learned the history that they wanted you to learn.
No, Lawrence, you don't understand. Lawrence, you said, who did you say you were defending yourself against?
Well, we had invaders from the north. We're constantly coming through.
Well, you meant I don't know, but do you remember any of their names?
I don't remember any of their names as far as, what do you mean?
Like what they called themselves, the group.
Where the Teutons were coming from the north.
If that's what you remember.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm not going to tell you what you remember. What you choose to remember, you choose to remember.
Yeah, we refer to them as the Teutons. That's how they refer to themselves, we believe. Heavily armored, and they would come in from the north.
Just to confirm, we're in the Alps, the Alpine region, correct?
Well,
we're in the Bavarian region, right?
Bavaria, okay.
More like
southern Bavaria.
Southwest. Almost.
You remember the Black Forest, Reiner? It's more.
Yeah. Yes, the Schwarzwald. Yeah, so about the middle point of southern Germany, midway about
southwestern and about 1/3 of the way up southwestern in Württemberg. What today would be called Württemberg.
Yeah, about if you were to draw a line, the line would be about maybe halfway to 2/3 of the way to the left on a map.
No, you're very far. If you cross the river, you cross the river that's nearby, you're going to end up in Alsace. And you're
okay. Then yeah, that's Teutons.
It's what he remembers. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, they would come through from the north, and we would battle them, and they would burn our villages, and they would be gone just as quick as they came.
But then,
your history books only tell you what they want, what they choose to put in them.
But then, Borinth, why is there no? If there were wandering, ransacking invaders in this area of Germany now, it would almost certainly have reached some notoriety.
Would it? What did they care of us? We were barbarians to them. We were.
That's precisely why. This area is not what the Romans would have considered barbarian. This was the frontier land. But that was centuries ago. How could... If there were a roving horde wandering around southern Germany, it would be noteworthy.
Unless Borinth is a vampire.
Well, that's a whole other question that I'd rather not think about.
Grab Rainier. right on the neck. I'm gonna rip his throat out.
Roll initiative.
I love the idea that we're like, I knew it. Oh wait, no.
Not these nightmares about Borinth killing me. I trust him too much for that, and I would rather not lose that trust because of subconscious things in my brain. In my
So were
head.
these
He
Teutons
has
the
blinded
wind?
you with his abilities.
What's that?
Were these Teutons the wind?
No, these were men.
Maybe you were young,
Maybe
you were a
the men-
child, you didn't want to believe. That
These
they
were men.
monsters.
I mean, I wasn't that young.
Maybe these people you were fighting have gotten trickier. And now they've tricked the entire town into thinking it's some kind of
I don't
magical beast that needs to be sacrificed.
I don't know. I do not know what's happening here.
May I ask one question?
Yeah.
One more question. Do you remember what these invaders looked like at all?
They were men in armor.
Did their armor look like mine?
No,
Then
it wasn't. I mean, it was not anywhere near
As shiny.
as shiny. You know.
well, that's not what I mean. I mean, was it plate?
Yes.
Was it
Yes.
the kind
Plate.
the kind of armor I wear?
Yes.
Full plate.
Full plate.
This is.
You are watching the Carpathian Adventure
your magical
on
thingy
Seven-Sided Die, and we will be right back.
What, like turn it off?
You gotta remember. I wrote.
Welcome back. You're watching the Carpathian Adventure on Seven-Sided Die, and we rejoin the party inside a tavern called, translated as Odin's Lament, Wotan's Klage. And welcome back. Okay, no audio at the moment. Oh, there it is. Okay. What's going on? It seems like the bar is dying down. There's a few young ladies hanging around Orphan at the moment. They're like, "Oh, you'll do great. You'll do great. Good luck to you on the other side." And they're kind of kissing him, and he's like, it's just kind of like, you can see he's kind of nervous and jerky. And somebody comes over to him and thrusts a spear in his hand and says, "Good luck to you." And a few guys are waiting near the door. That looks like it's pretty clear they're getting ready to escort him to the tower, so to speak.
Should we go outside?
I feel that's our cue. No?
Okay, so I'm gonna take a. Is he wearing like a big cloak? It's cold out,
Yeah,
right?
he has a cloak. He's bundled up for the evening. He grabs hold of the spear somewhat. Yeah.
Okay.
I got it.
I'm gonna take him out the rest of the way, fellas.
They look at you somewhat askew. Very well.
All right.
Welcome.
I'm gonna kind of put my arm around him and steer him out.
I'll be okay.
You're gonna be fine.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. I'm gonna be really good. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna walk him by these guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna be really
And
good.
I'm gonna look at Balder and say, "I'm taking his place."
I'm gonna be fine.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I'm going on that tower, and I'm gonna wait for whatever comes for it, and I'm gonna give it hell.
That's not so good.
If you guys
Can we talk about this outside?
You guys can come and stand and.
Are you
stand by
sure
the
we
way.
should fight an unknown monster here before we know anything about it?
I'm hoping that I could see it somehow.
And seeing it will help out.
Let me hit it.
We know nothing about it, and you want to take a stand here.
You want to take this man and put him on there and watch him die?
He would be one of many.
Well, this has to end. Why can't it end with him?
All I'm saying is to use a little intelligence. We can learn more about this beast.
What is there left to learn?
I don't speak,
Everything. We
I
know
don't
nothing
speak
about
whatever-
it.
Whatever you're
Quiet. Just quiet.
It's all good.
It's good.
I'm good.
All right.
Hey,
We know
no.
nothing about it.
I'm gonna be
at
good.
all.
You see a little
Except that
trickle
there's
going
ice
down his
and
pant
wind.
leg near the floor. I spilled some beer.
I'll put my arm around him in German. It's all right. It's just a short walk.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my
I
God.
just think that
Let's go.
we could have the element of
I had
surprise.
her. And her.
I mean, they have said
Well,
people have fought it off, but it didn't help.
And her.
So if
That's
we
good
are
memories. Think
successful,
about
what have we
that.
It was
accomplished?
quick. It was only about 5 minutes.
Oh well, that's
Total.
better. That's better than average.
Well, I mean,
I'm thinking we should do more fact gathering, information gathering, rather than just fight it off.
how are we gonna gather more
We
information?
could watch.
If we
You're gonna
gather,
watch the man
it
get
may be
taken
another
away?
month before they send someone else up to the tower.
Yes.
Is there a way to follow it back?
The thing is, it makes tracks, is what they said.
Yes.
It
Well,
might
then
be
you
worth
can,
it
you
to
can, you can
find
track,
where
you
it
can follow
goes.
them back when they take me.
That
I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, we're just gonna send this innocent man up there just to die?
well, we're not sending anyone.
I mean, he did volunteer.
Why did you volunteer? Tell us.
Well, I mean, look at these. Look at these. You know, the ladies. Come on.
You just volunteered for the ladies?
Well,
That seems
I'm not
That's short-sighted.
exactly the most. I don't look like you or you.
But you seem like a young man. You
I
have
look kinda
plenty
like
of
you.
Years.
But you could be.
What?
Kind of like you,
There's no difference
but not like
between
him.
So you've let
there's
the
no
whole,
difference between
you've
you
let
and
the
them.
whole- You've let the whole town convinced that you're not good enough, so you're just going to end your
No,
life.
I'm good enough. I'm good enough. No, who says your life ends? You go with the wind. So it's all good.
Oh, so now they're teaching
that's
you a
very zen
religion
of you.
over here.
Very zen of you.
Thank you.
You go with the
I
wind.
respect that.
Thank you.
Oddly enough, I
appreciate
respect.
I don't know any other way. I mean, we're not gonna get any more information in this town. We're not gonna get any further. I mean, listen.
You're taking a huge risk.
I think it's okay to feel
To
a bit
even assume that it'll
overwhelmed. Yeah.
leave you alive long enough to
Yes.
find out where we're going.
I think you're a bit overwhelmed with the
If
situation
a
and
group
with the town and
of
the
regular men were
memories.
able to hold it off, I can surely hold it off.
They also mentioned they were smaller and more of them, and they can also be huge. We don't know what's
I mean,
coming.
it won't know what to expect.
I think we should think that what happens later if this doesn't work out for us and we move on. Will we stay here a month? If not, then we owe it to this town when the next wave
I
comes bigger and
cannot
badder.
leave them in this state.
I think we might do more damage. I think we'll create a worse state for them if we
I think
mingle without
if we
finding a
put
way
up
to
a
help.
fight and they leave,
Nikolash's kinda right.
they're
They've
coming
kinda found a
back right
balance.
away. They're coming back at least the next day. They're
There's
not going to
no-
wait a month till they come back.
There's
They are
also-
feeding.
yeah.
That's why they are taking these people. They
There
are
are
feeding.
Also, other towns that also
Please understand that they are feeding off of these people. That's why they don't want, a man
Well,
with
yeah,
no
if
legs.
If they don't sacrifice somebody, they
It's
just
less
come
food.
and take. They just come and take whatever they want. So yeah,
Right.
it's
Well,
one or the other.
So do we not bring this man out and let them come and try to take
I
what
don't
they
know
want?
that they want just food. What is the reason for not wanting a man that is a disabled?
You thinking
can
that
no
they're taking
long-
them to put him to work? But it's not necessarily a man that they put up
Maybe
there.
maybe not work, but as a soldier,
That's a good point.
as somebody created to fight others.
Creating a vampire army.
If you do not take those that are weak and infirmed, you are taking those that are able-bodied. Those that will stand and fight for something.
It was mentioned this happens in other towns too. This is not the only town that this happens in. This is not a battle that is won here alone.
But we have to know what we're fighting. And this is an opportunity to find out what it is.
All right.
I mean,
I'm sure I'm not going
listen,
to be able to convince you otherwise, anyways.
I don't know how else we could do this. How far is it from the walls to the tower?
It looks like
Oh,
10,
it's kind of in-
20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So with the do you go outside?
Well, I assume we're just talking and walking kind of our
Okay,
way
so
out.
you start walking with him, and he's bundled up in the snow, and the group of you are walking outside, and slowly the sound of the tavern disappears in the background behind you as you do so, and you continue to walk toward it, and you can see the wind. It's dark now. It's nighttime. There's still some stars up ahead. It's snowing, but it's not like a blizzard. It's you guys have crossed the Alps. You've seen serious snow. This is not that. This is just kind of weird and unusual. Here it is in the middle of May, and it's snowing. It's not not impossible for snow to happen, but it's just very, very odd for it to happen. And especially odd to this degree for it to happen. You as you're walking outside, you can't quite make out the shape of the tower just yet. Visibility is probably about 60 feet with the swirling snow, the darkness, the trees that this is not what the trees look like right here. I don't know if you were here when I showed everybody this. There's no place. So that's about the thickness of the trees. It's not right up against the wall, mind you. It's probably about 120 feet from the wall and so forth. So it's very, very thick wood around it. And of course they have appropriate clearings around the walls, for fields of fire and so forth. Not that they're anticipating an enemy army necessarily, although they might be, but they're not anticipating it. But that's what the ambience of it looks like, if you will. And so you're walking out through the snow. It's swirling, and you're talking as you're doing so.
Do I see anything that might be invisible, undead, anything along those lines?
You look
Using
around, and you're glancing, and the snow is swirling in the darkness. You can see the stars glittering through. You can see farther up than you can see laterally, and nothing at the moment. No.
If you want to be, what if we let you get taken by this creature and we followed you? Because it sounds like the thing is invisible, but you might not be. Maybe we could follow you through some way? See where it takes you?
Well,
Maybe
when they
convince it?
described being the sacrifice, they say it as a sacrifice, like Did they describe that they would get attacked up there or killed up there or
It
anything on
seems
the
like
tower?
they are taken.
Tossed
away.
around. With
But
the
everybody
they're
assumes
taken
that they're dead. Why would they assume that they're dead instead of just being taken
Probably
away?
no one
They're not
comes
saying they're saying
back.
sacrifice and not
He
taken.
he clearly does not believe that he's going to die. He believes he's going with the wind.
Yes. So maybe they just disappeared from the town, but they don't confirm a death.
What actually
So
happens to
assume-
them? Who
Then
knows?
why do they call it a
Sacrifice.
sacrifice?
I mean, if you don't come back,
Yeah.
what else would they call
I
it?
don't know. That seems. Did we get the sense that they were being killed, or that because they would fight these things off,
They disappear.
they just disappear?
It's like a gust of wind and dust and snow. They can't see anything, I guess. It did pick up our fellow here and threw him when he tried to fight it off.
Oh, it did take apart his legs.
Did it?
Well, it threw him
Oh, is that why?
and crushed his legs when he landed.
Oh, is that what it was? Is that what he said?
He said something. It felt like the wind swung at him and lifted him and multiple others. This is the way he related it, and I'm just re-relating it for you. Was that they had fought off something came back stronger, and then eventually something came back wickedly stronger. And when it came back wickedly stronger, they at that point went ahead and fought it, but at the same when they did, it defeated them, so to speak. Does that make sense?
Then we also heard that when they were swinging, I think Albrecht said he found purchase and it felt like hitting icicles.
Yeah. Could this be like an ice dragon?
Or an ice vampire?
I don't know.
I have seen many things I never anticipated to see
I don't think
since
the
I have
dragon-
joined you. It could be any number of things.
Because they mentioned it
Some
sometimes.
creature just made entirely out of ice.
Well, they mentioned
Who knows?
sometimes multiples, smaller ones would come.
That's
Or
right.
one large one.
So I imagine some sort of army.
They never said they'd use the words though.
Or a group of creatures.
And I mean, Ghazi was gigantic. So if it is vampires, I mean, I guess it still could be, but I've never seen any of them use ice or snow. But what do I know? If you're going up on that tower,
The
then
situation makes
that's
me
what we're
feel
gonna do.
uneasy. Something about this isn't right. Something's not adding up.
When I look at the tower, do I think I could scale up this, up the sides of it? I think I can get up it?
ladder, man.
Yeah, there's a ladder.
Yeah, but that, in my head, Mikolash is thinking about climbing and
Hiding up there.
hiding at some point.
Yes, you
That's why I
of all
said
people,
yes.
given how dexterous you are and your monk-like abilities of moving in shadows, you could probably. I mean, if you have the ability to move from shadow to shadow, correct? Or is that? Am I thinking a different monk?
Through Shadow Step.
Shadow step. So you could literally. I mean, there's enough shadows around. You could literally shadow step. How far? Refresh my.
60, so...
So you could
that should
literally
cover
shadow
it.
step. Probably from somewhere on the ground where you could find a shadow to underneath the platform somewhere if you wanted.
Give me the chance to see what this thing is.
If you're going up there, I think I should at least be close by to listen. Maybe it'll say something. Maybe you
I
can
think
talk
it
to
is
it.
clear that we are not going to be dissuading him from this course.
I agree.
I don't like it.
I agree.
Plus, I think that the
Worst
only
case scenario, it
useful thing
takes
to
me.
do is to support him in it and try to
There's
make sure he
many
doesn't
worse
get
things than
himself
that.
That is
Like what?
That is pretty
That's
bad.
best case scenario.
Yeah, that is
Worst
pretty.
case, you die. We all die.
Yeah,
I'd
that
say.
is that is bad in and of itself.
Well, no, I mean, a good possibility is that we can capture this thing, we can kill this thing, and see what it is.
But if it takes you in the air, we have no way to follow you. We have nothing to put on you to mark you, to trace you in any manner.
This is
What if we? What if we tied a rope around you?
And we
To
all
the
went through a
structure.
ride.
No, to the structure. It won't pick this whole thing up. Maybe you could wear the cloak and hide it around
Well,
your
he
leg.
wants to be taken. If we don't
we have
want
an
him to be
indestructible
taken,
rope?
No, we
I mean,
don't.
I want
No,
it.
we
I
don't.
want
can
It's a
keep you
stupid
from
idea.
being
We need
taken,
to
but
fight
you
it.
want to be taken.
It's so fucking.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Let's
I
take
use
some.
25 cents.
I think we just need to take positions and wait.
yeah,
No.
yeah. I'm gonna. What was
still
the
going
guy's
on top
name
of the
that we
tower?
led us to the sacrifice? What's his
Orphan.
name again? Orphan.
Yeah.
Orphan.
Orphan.
This is a good spear, Orphan.
Yes.
You're gonna come back to this village
Yes, of
as
course.
a warrior.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
You are gonna come back.
Just knock him.
Yes.
Say it
I'm
as a warrior.
coming back as a warrior.
As a warrior.
A warrior.
Say it again.
Oh,
Say it again until it's real.
warrior.
Say it again
Yes.
until it's real.
I'm gonna come back as a warrior. Yes. Yes, I am.
You are.
I swear. Yes.
Okay. You're gonna stay and fight with us.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. He's staying and fighting. That's that. It's decided. And I'm going on the tower.
That just seems like one more body to take care of, but okay.
Well, I mean, he wants to sacrifice himself.
All right. Is he
His
going
chance
up
to
with
come back
you?
is better. No, he's gonna stay with you guys.
Oh, fabulous.
I am the sacrifice. I mean, I don't.
We can still knock him out and put him back in his bed. Just a good old funk.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, what was that? I didn't quite hear that. What did you say?
Borinth is going up. We are staying down. Mikolash is hiding on the tower somewhere.
Yeah.
I will build an igloo.
Okay.
Okay.
There's not that much snow. It's not like deep. It's just like swirling. You can see
Is there places for them to kind of take cover, like to kind of like?
the
they're not just standing out in
area
open?
right here in front of the walls was designed not for cover. It's
Okay.
designed for
You
as
can
fields
stay
of
at the
fire
walls and
for.
come out through the walls.
So you could stay at the walls, or you could stay at the base of the tower, or
I don't know if
you
they'll
could
come
go
if you
beyond
guys
to
are
the
all staying at
woods.
the base of the tower. I
It's
guess
probably
they will.
another about the same distance
I
past
think
to
we're
the
just
wood
gonna have
line.
to, I mean, it puts us far away, but we're gonna have to stay behind the walls.
I'm going to take off my new, freshly embroidered cloak and fold it nicely and put it away. I'm going to take out my nice, still maybe slightly fragrant sheepskin cloak.
Oh, okay.
Put it over me since it's a little warmer and a little whiter.
Yeah, it's definitely whiter.
And I'm gonna kind of go back to the walls and lean on the wall.
Okay, so you're somewhere
At least
over
you'll have something
against
to
the
remember
wall,
him by.
right here.
Yeah.
Okay, you can make out the tower, but it's kind of hard
Yeah.
to see. What is it? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So you've got about 60 foot of visibility, so you can see about halfway
I will
to it and all that.
take the time while I'm there to recast Find Familiar and cast him as an owl. And send him up to the top of the tower to perch.
Where are you going?
I will be up here.
So put yourself somewhere at the base so you know where you are.
I'm going up.
Here,
I understood.
you can have a height stick.
Oh,
There you go.
He's gonna
Thank
stay with
you.
them.
He's going to stay with
Yeah.
these guys. Mattias, where are you going?
I'm staying with the main group.
Okay. And
Balder?
Balder?
Guess
And
I'm
of
staying at
course,
the
Marcus
wall.
still needs his armor back on.
I don't know what else to do. I mean, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna climb up, and as soon as I get to the top,
Can I do this?
I am going
No, it shouldn't. It's
to
not a permanent spot.
use my divine sense.
Okay.
So, as an action, I can detect good or evil.
How does that work?
It can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell, or know the location of any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Okay. How long does it last?
It says until the end of your next turn, so I guess it's just like an instant, like you know.
Okay. So when you're up there, you climb up to the top. It's a fairly stout tower, and you're climbing up the railings, and you get to the top, and you look back, and you can see the village in the distance, and 60 plus feet away, and the glowing lights of the village and the swirling snow around you. And it's dark, and you can see the stars overhead, and it's actually a beautiful night if you could look straight up. Beyond, you see the thick, thick pines. You cast divine sense, and this aura about you just goes forth, and but you don't sense anything at the moment.
Okay.
And you sit and wait, or
I'm
stand.
gonna kneel down with my cloak over me, covering as much of me as possible, I'm gonna hold my hammer underneath, right? So I'm gonna try to make myself look as small as possible, as though I'm just kind of huddled up there, hammer's out of sight, just laying on my lap, ready to strike. And then as soon as I sense maybe something is near me, if I get any sort of inclination, I'm gonna cast again that same thing that I just did, divine sense again.
Okay, you're up there, and time just sort of stands. Yes, go ahead.
All I have to say is, you know what's the strangest thing? I feel like instead of a sword, I should be wielding something different, like a tree branch or a biscuit.
Biscuit?
I don't know why.
I think you had too many in the tavern, Matthias.
I only had one sip.
Yeah, that's too many for you.
Where did that come from? Something happened that I don't know about?
No, I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Well,
No, just, I observed something that I think was a reference to something else.
Huh?
you believe your weapons will not find purchase?
Okay. I know what you're talking about. I know Lord Durali is there. So, anyway, so the...
Yeah, totally.
It's a father-son thing.
Yeah.
Anyway. Anyway, the moon slowly moves across the sky. It's dark. It's windy. Time seems to stand still for a short period of time. An hour goes by. You can tell that it's cold and it's bitter, but it's not brutal. You guys have experienced far, far worse. You're staying there, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah.
You wait and wait. Slowly, the wind picks up and it starts getting stronger. You're up there and it's 60 feet and 30 feet in the air, and it starts howling, and it gets colder and more bitter. And the wind and the snow pick up even greater. Visibility, you can barely make out Borinth from where you are. And it's almost like you want to get closer. It's up to you, but the wind is swirling around him at this point, and it's clearly getting gusty. In the distance, Borinth, in the distance, through the thick, blowing snow, you start to see something approaching you. Off to your left front, there's something moving through the snow. It's impossible to make out what it is, but you can clearly see the shapes, plural, of something approaching you. The rest of the party is so far away, you don't see anything, and plus you don't know that he sees anything.
I'm definitely going to start moving closer as he starts to lose, as I start to lose vision of him.
Okay, and it's
not like running, just...
No, I understand. So
like
it's
kind of
probably to the point where you probably want to get, to maintain visibility with him, given the kind of angle looking up at him. There's no trigonometry or whatever the heck it's called in D&D, but you know that you probably need to get another, if you want to maintain visibility clearly, you probably got to get another 30 feet closer, but it's up to you.
No, I'm going to. Yeah.
Okay, so you go ahead and you move up.
Mm-hmm.
Creeping with your hammer.
I'm gonna stay.
I don't like this whole fight.
I'm gonna stay where I'm at, and I'll let my eyes glaze over, and I'll look through my familiar that's perched up on the platform with Borinth, and just watch him to see what he does.
So what do I see approaching me? Are they something that's invisible that I could see because of my necklace? Remember last time I could tell if they were, or when I saw the vampires and they were invisible, I could tell that they had like a shimmer about them, from what I remember.
Okay.
So do I see a shape? Do I see a wind? What do I see?
I will get right back to you on that. Mattias, you're starting to lose sight of him. You can tell the wind is swirling around. It's starting to pick up. The snow is thickening. You're okay where you are. Are you staying there? You're about
For now, but I'm staying alert.
Okay. You're about 60 feet from the tower. Understood. Mikolash. My audio may get lost here online, but Mikolash, from where you are, this is not what you see.
Right.
But you see like swirls in the snow moving toward you. Moving toward the tower. And kind of, those swirls, this is just representative of about where these swirls are. You don't see any forms at all, but you see these swirls in the snow, and it's sort of like tracks in the snow moving slowly toward you. Borinth.
I'm gonna
Follow
knock
me.
on the wood once when I see those. Just
Please
a
step
knock
away
below
from
Borinth.
Oh no. I'm in trouble.
Uh-oh. It's a super secret mini. Scheiße. Do you think it's vampires?
Oh man.
I have
Oh,
no
man.
Monster.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
I love that it even has stand-ins for what it really is.
Yeah. This is what you really see.
Oh,
great.
God.
Whatever's going on, I can't see it.
No, no
Yeah.
one can see it.
Yeah.
He's giving information to Brian that we are not privy to.
I can
Yes,
only
yes.
see Borinth's reaction through my familiar. That's about it. Fireball! 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 Fireball!
Every spell slot.
Where? Everywhere.
Every spell slot.
Cover the ground.
Okay. So, I think
And an extra action.
I don't know that it's necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. It may not be necessary.
Okay.
I don't know what you guys are planning to do,
Six.
Neither do
We didn't really have a plan. Yeah.
but roll initiative.
Six. That's 7 of them? Is that 7 right there?
Perhaps.
7, yeah.
I don't know.
7
You're the one who
minis.
sees them.
I'm just looking at you.
That's pretty good.
I don't like
21.
I don't like that either.
You'll see, leave that thing at the bottom that says legend. It's just a reminder to me.
Yes.
Okay.
We were scared about that. Let's see. So what do you got, Reiner?
Bad guys have an
14.
18.
14. Opponents have an 18. Brian?
And 21.
21.
21. Mikolash?
6. Simon
Oh,
5.
6.
5.
Nice.
Simon a 5. Balder an 11. So we should be good.
That makes sense. I'm way back by the wall anyway.
Can your owl hear? Like if I say something, can you hear through your owl?
Can you just push
I
all of
believe
those
so.
up and make the other one just
I
so
can see
it's a reminder to me, that's all.
We don't need to know when you have legendary actions. You gotta remember. You can forget.
I don't want to cheat you.
Kind of fits. We'll go like that.
Okay.
Oh, geez.
Legendary.
I think yeah.
Oh.
He noticed that at first, and he was like, "I don't like that."
Who's he?
Right away, he's like, "What does that say down there?"
I don't know that guy.
Okay.
How tall is the tower?
60.
30, I think.
Take your figure off.
30 feet. About half, right, to the gate.
10, 20, 30. Looks like almost exactly 30.
Okay. That's not so bad. That's not such a bad drop.
I'm sorry?
No, I said that's not such a bad drop.
No, you can survive.
Well, if you land on
that's an easy-
Mikolash on the way down.
Okay.
It's an easy
No,
work.
I
So
am-
do you know
I
if
am
you can hear
under
through your
here.
owl?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
I speak,
yeah.
you can hear through your owl?
Yeah, while my eyes are glazed over, I can
Okay.
see and hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, but can't see or hear anything around
Right,
myself.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When these came into view, just tack like I'm right here.
Yes.
Just gonna one knock, pause, one knock, pause. That's my thing.
You hear 2 knocks on the wood from below you. I'm going to assume you know that Mikolash is below you.
Yeah. Mikolash. Simon, if you
Zero
hear me.
plan. What was that?
They're just men.
What?
They're just men.
Okay. Lead. I'll follow.
I am going to wait, and I'm going to hold an action until they're within range of me.
Okay.
So if they climb up onto the tower, if they do anything like that, I'm going to hold my action for that.
Okay. The swirls continue to move forward. Move them 30 feet forward and start pivoting them toward it this way. And they all stay in a line, except for the one that's slightly behind. And they're very tight formation.
Okay.
And then there's
This one in the back?
behind.
Like this.
Okay. If nobody does anything,
I will reiterate to
don't
Mattias
see them yet,
and
but yeah.
Well, I said out
Everybody
loud to him
yeah.
that they were just men.
snap out of it.
Because his owl is up there with me, and he was.
He says they're just men.
What?
Let's be prepared for anything, though. Even if they wear the shapes of men, we don't know that they're still men.
Very true. It seems they have more abilities than just the average person.
There's too much. I still can't see any. I'm assuming I don't see any of them, so I don't see anything over here. I'm just kind of yelling back to them.
You don't see anything.
I'll move forward.
Like the wind's definitely picked up, but I don't.
30 feet.
I don't know what he would mean by they're just men. I just see nothing.
Mikolash, are you doing anything?
Well, you see the wind.
Simon, you moved forward.
No, I don't see
Yeah, I
it.
move forward.
You can hold an action if you want.
I just see overall.
Boren,
it's gotten.
you're up. What are you doing?
Do I notice that this one is? I would notice that that one's staying behind some, right?
Yes. It appears to be staying slightly behind the others.
Okay. I am gonna just stick to it, and I'm gonna hold my. I'm gonna hold an attack action.
Jump down.
That's what I so want to do. I so want to do it.
Right in the
It's
middle.
a long jump.
You'll be fine.
Superfly snooker from the top row.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold.
Which
I'm
won't
gonna
do anything.
hold my.
Be a bad idea.
You know, I'm gonna hold. Yeah, I'm gonna hold my attack. Because I'm
Understood.
thinking it's 30 feet up, right? So that's probably their movement is enough to get them up there right now, though. So I'm going to hold my action for them to be within striking range.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do.
Let's move these guys up over in this direction. Okay.
Ooh, they're going right past me.
Yeah, that's good.
Are they going past? They going on the ladder? What are we doing here?
Let's just kind of go like this. Actually, you know what? Go like that, and then give me.
This one.
I know I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but and that one just leave them
Still
right there
kinda
for right
back,
now.
right?
So now you guys, you see what you see, and you hear the sound of crunching in the snow. Balder and Simon, you see this. You see like. It's like footprints, but then they kind of disappear in the swirl of snow. Okay. And there's like as if somebody stepped in sand and there's like a poof. And then it quickly vanishes. But you can hear the crunches at the same time. It's almost like something's invisible there. Mattias, at this juncture, you're still at the wall. You can barely make out in the darkness. Barely. There's some light from the stars, and fortunately the little bit of snow on the ground that is giving you enough illumination even without torches in this darkness to barely make out something there, and some footprints and swirls of snow in the distance.
Could we roll initiative for Orphan too?
Sure, of course.
That's bold of you to assume.
No, he's fighting.
No, absolutely.
We're gonna make a man of this.
He is a 12.
It's faster
He's
than
a
Okay.
-2.
Hand me
He's got
back my-
-2 to initiative.
yeah. He peed himself
I don't
walking
care.
up. I
Hey.
mean,
Friendly.
Hey, everybody deserves an
So-
opportunity to level up.
it's
Remember
tied
that.
with you.
He's still faster
I just
than me.
Tied
broke
with
the
you, but he
fourth
had
wall.
lowered.
I had 11.
Oh, you had 11.
There you go. Yeah,
Oh, I thought
absolutely.
you tied with him for some reason.
Okay.
Okay.
So you saw what I showed you, correct?
Yes.
And you noted that one was of different size, physical stature.
Oh, I didn't notice that. But that's the one that's in the back.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And do you need me to show you again?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I didn't notice that, though.
We're, Borinth, you are up. What are you doing? Well, actually, we just went opponents.
Yeah,
Mattias, you are up. What are you doing? Holding fast, moving forward.
Going to. Okay, so is it completely open space between me and the tower?
Yes, wide open. You're in a defensible village with a palisade around it. So they had cleared, not for this reason, but as anybody might clear around a village, you would know with your tactical sense that you would clear it for fields of fire. You don't want to give the enemy something to hide behind. So there's really nothing between you and it.
Mikolash and Balder are about 30 feet in front of you right now.
That's me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Zyman and Balder are about 30 feet in front of you. They've already started to approach.
Okay, Matthias will follow that.
I had a feeling he didn't know that.
Okay, that's all good. So I'm just going to say you're up there
I'm like
with them.
Spider-Man right now. I'm like,
Okay,
posted up.
party allies. He'll go up and he'll join them as well. Balder, you are up. What are you doing?
I think I'm going to ready an attack.
What are you doing?
Okay, Mikolash, you saw the steps in the little bit of snow. It's not like deep snow, but it's like a light covering, but you could see there were clear crunches in the snow, and a little bit of swirl around it, and then the crunches quickly filled back in again as they continued to move forward. There seemed to be a line of whatever was there moving forward, and then something behind it moving forward as well.
Exactly what I was gonna ask. Okay.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm gonna.
And they have slightly passed you. You're not right where you are. You're about 5 feet toward me underneath the structure.
So, if I'm back here and I see them kind of going past me,
Yep.
I want to do my best to reach a hand up from here and pull myself up to the top.
Okay,
Borin's
just
standing.
roll an acrobatics or athletics check with advantage.
Okay.
And also roll a stealth too, just to not draw attention to yourself.
Okay. So this will be the
And I'll give you with
acrobatics.
advantage. Yep. So let's roll one to get up, and the other just to do so quiet. I assume you're trying to do so very quietly.
Yes. So this will be my acrobatics. 18 plus 7, 25.
You're like nimble. And let's see how quiet you are.
Okay, stealth. 21.
21. You like
No, you still get it.
like this
It's like
silent
an attack,
figure
yeah.
climbs up and just kind of the foot steps up on and the other foot steps up on.
I'm just
And
gonna
Borinth, you note something in your peripheral vision, but you don't hear it at all.
When I see him, I'm just gonna do
So move your figure up top.
Yep.
it. No, and then I'm gonna point. I'm gonna go like, I'm just gonna point down towards the ladder. They need to come up the ladder in order to get up here.
Just keep knocking them off.
Okay.
Throw
That's my
barrels at
action.
them.
No,
That's my turn.
Okay, that is Mikolash. Zyman, you are up.
Yeah. I'm gonna move back.
Yeah.
I don't like any of this.
Yeah.
That's okay. No, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's
That's a
good.
good plan.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, they're right now. You're barely visible to you. I mean, they're at the edge of your vision.
Just concentrating on the footprints. Like,
Yeah,
what is
yeah,
this?
yeah. This is crazy. This is really cool, actually.
I'm gonna hold an action if any of them come within 20 feet of me.
Spinning the hammer.
Okay.
I'll shoot some scorching rays out of them.
Understood. If any come within 20 feet of you, understood.
So just wait.
Okay. That is Zyman. Borinth, you are back up again. What are you doing?
Okay. I'm looking over the edge, and I notice that larger one.
Yes, you do.
I am going to use my channel divinity, and I'm going to cast Abjure Enemy on the large guy. So what that does is he has to make a wisdom saving throw of 14. Fiends and undead have disadvantage, so you know.
Understood. Good. Thank you for reminding me.
On a failure, the creature is frightened and its speed is reduced to 0. It can't benefit from bonuses to speed for 1 minute until it takes any damage.
Understood. Understood. And
on a success, its speed is halved for 1 minute.
What is this called again?
This is Abjure Enemy. It's part of my Channel Divinity, one of my oath spells.
It's
not a spell. It's a channel.
It's a channel divinity.
Divinity for power.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just look.
Yeah, so it's not a spell. So if I rage, it stays.
Yep. Right.
It's not concentration or anything like that. It's my action.
Okay.
For Vengeance Paladin, right?
Right. I'm just trying to.
Vengeance Paladin. Yeah.
Okay. What's the DC, sir?
14.
14. Nat 20 and a 14 plus 2. So obviously nat 20 doesn't count.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah.
Okay.
So he's good so far. I don't know if it would have.
So on a success, speed is halved. Is that how that
would have mattered? But
what's that?
If on a success.
So on a failure, it's halved. So his speed is halved.
Oh, his speed is halved.
Yeah, his speed is halved.
So he knows something happened to him.
This isn't a charm type.
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, it just said.
It's a channel that he's calling out to his
Sure.
god. To,
Okay. Let's go with it.
him.
So his speed is halved. Got it.
Mhm.
Okay. All good. Understood. Understood. Obviously, that changes the paradigm a little bit here.
And then as my movement, right? As my movement. Maybe I'll wait.
We'll run 40 feet on the top and
Benny Hill theme song, please.
Gotta keep the cardio up.
No, I'm gonna creep right to the very edge as my movement, right? And I'm gonna hold right there.
Okay, that's Borinth. Borinth, I mean, did you have to say something to do that? I'm just.
No, I just grabbed onto my necklace, you know, and just it doesn't say.
But obviously, he would know something happened to him.
Well, his speed just got halved.
Yeah,
so
I mean, he knows something attacked him at that point,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
it depends on. I mean, I guess how smart he is, but he knows something happened to him.
Yeah.
He's probably not dumb. Okay, he at that
must be
should have had that extra bread for dinner. I feel kind of sluggish.
Was it the buttered cheese?
Can't carb load like that. Balder, don't carb load.
And then march hundreds of miles through the
Was I supposed to bring the pastry bag out here with me?
That would make sense.
Okay, the opponents.
I tried.
No, hey.
I figured if I could take him out, if I could stop
I like it.
the big guy.
Yeah, I like it.
Hey, man.
Hey, yeah, good stuff.
Just got some more tricks up my sleeve, don't you worry.
Okay, all of a sudden, these guys turn. This swirls, sort of, just stand fast. This swirl disappears to all of the rest of you, and this one does as well. Borinth, you see one moving up and the other starting to come up. It slightly steps away. And again, guys, these are like invisible creatures to most of you, except for Borinth. And then all of a sudden, he just looks up at you, and you can see these like deep, icy blue eyes. And he just looks up at you and, without speaking a word, just waves his hand. Almost, and he's saying to you, don't resist. Don't resist. Don't resist. Don't resist. And these walls sort of close in on you. If you can get those. So it's like this walls completely close in around you.
Okay. The wall fell and took them all out, though. So. got the idea.
Yeah, you got the
We'll
idea.
just shoot the 3.
Poor
right?
planning.
3's good.
We'll
Poor
do that.
planning.
But I
Okay.
know that there's one in front of me.
Got it. These walls are all surrounding you. Roll a dex. You and Mikolash roll a DC 17 dex save.
Oh my gosh, always getting
Just
yourself in
straight dex?
trouble.
14.
Yes. Yeah, well, it's a dex save. So whatever, if you have a proficiency bonus for dex saves, then obviously that applies.
16.
A 16, so you fail.
That's not low.
21 for me.
I
A
gotta be level 18 to get
21
a
for
fourth
you.
level.
You save.
I love the 6.
I think I have to be 13 to get third.
Oh boy.
Huh?
Oh god.
You were saying it's a fourth level spell. It's pretty low, and I'm like, that's not low. I gotta be level 18 to get that.
Man. Okay.
Borinth, you take 50 points of cold damage. Mikolash, you take 25, and you're pushed inward against one another.
I have evasion. So
Okay.
Nothing, right?
Nothing then. Yep. Okay. You avoid. That's right. With your save, you otherwise it would have been half. Would have been 25. You take nothing. Okay. The others
funny.
just formed. This one seems to climb up.
You want to play Dungeons and Dragons, or what do you want to do, huh?
Play Dungeons and Live to kill Ghazi.
So there's one, Borinth, you see the ice. This hand reaches through the ice. It seems to come straight through the ice wall, and it seems to be reaching out to you. Asking, almost as if it's beckoning you to grab its hand. Come with it. And that is the opponents. Mattias, you are up.
Okay.
That's the whole point.
So
That was the whole point of this plan.
Positions of my compatriots in relation to me.
You threw the plan right out the window already.
The right in front of you, about 15 feet in front of you,
Where it goes.
there are.
Where it'll just come back.
You don't see the shapes. They're invisible for all intents and purposes, for mechanics of D&D. You see what footprints and swirls in the snow of clearly 4 figures interlocked and moving towards you. Off to the right, you see one that went up the ladder, and you see one going up the ladder. Beyond the 4 figures in front of you, kind of difficult, not figures, beyond the swirls in front of you, there seems to be another swirl past it. It's probably slightly, to the extent that you can detect it, larger.
Okay, and what I was asking was, what about my compatriots in relation to me?
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
But thank you for the information about the enemies. That is necessary, and thank you.
5 foot to your left rear is Orphan, the local with the spear. He's jittering away. I'll be brave. I'm being brave. I'm being brave. I'm being brave. What am I doing?
Sure you are, Leslie. I mean, whatever your name is.
Oh, that's where you got that from, Leslie. Very good. Okay. And then about 7 to 10 feet to your left is Balder. You do not see anyone because either your back is to them or you can't see. You see the tower in front of you. The tower in front of you, the top of it suddenly became encrusted in ice.
Strange.
Well,
The Fortress of Solitude.
Matthias takes a long look at the.
Well, don't take more than 6 seconds.
I know.
A long
He
4
gives his
second
turn
look.
up.
He
Who's
raises
the one
his
who
sword in
complimented
front
the
of
tower
him.
on its construction?
It
Because
says,
it can hold all that
Temporary.
ice. It's gotta be.
Sky
It is built pretty
Father.
well.
It is true. Very true.
grant me the strength to overcome these foes of all that is
All
natural
that
in
ice
the world.
indoor?
Let your might and your radiance see the illusions that butt them, that clear them from my sight, undone, and may they fall before the blade of your faithful.
Okay, roll a
Is Matthias a witch?
roll a percentile die
Did you just curse everybody?
and tell me what you roll.
Okay. What?
I'm sorry.
What is it?
Nikolaj feels like
I'm
they're
sorry.
None. We just don't know what you're doing.
I know what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's
No,
praying
we-
to his
What
god.
I felt Matthias would do.
Oh, okay.
He's praying to his god for guidance and to
91.
91.
91s, that's good.
You don't see the figures, but you seem to discern where they are. There are 4 somethings about 15 feet right in front of you. And they're facing you. It's almost like they're interlocked with one another.
Your forms may be hidden to me, but you are not concealed. Stand aside or be struck down by the faithful. Stand aside or be struck down by the righteous. Stand aside and let justice be done, or you shall be struck down, smote like so much ash by the champions of the sun.
Nothing happens. I got my last inspiration token.
He's good.
Last one.
I'll have to make you.
Okay.
Good
I'll have to
speech.
make you
Okay,
more.
so then-
Mattias.
I'll be using some.
Okay. Party allies.
He's got so many.
Orphan moves up in between Balder and Mattias.
On my decks.
Orphan looks to you. He's on your immediate left at this point. You can see him out of his periphery. I'm ready. I'm ready. I heard you. Very, very inspirational. Very, very inspirational. There's icicles running down the insides of his legs.
Yeah.
Inside his helmet, Matthias just looks over briefly and then just goes back to looking ahead.
Balder, you are up.
So they haven't attacked us yet, right?
Correct.
I mean, I can't even see them, so I'm just gonna hold. I'm just gonna hold an attack, and if they move to attack me, I will attack them. I'll hold like Matthias is, and I'm kind of gonna stand in front of you know who.
Orphan.
He's not ready. He's not ready.
He doesn't seem to object as you move slightly in front of him. Okay, and that is Balder. Mikolash, you are up.
How high are the ice walls?
10 foot.
I would like to try to jump off of Borin's body to get over the ice walls.
I'm sorry, say that again.
You want to leapfrog me?
Yeah,
on top of
do you
the-
think I could like jump off his shoulder and then over the
Give it a
over the
try.
ice walls?
Of course you
Okay.
can try.
All right.
So roll an acrobatics check. You actually you can easily you climb unless Borinth stops you.
Yeah.
You can climb up Borinth. You're on top of Borinth at this point.
We'll stop him.
And
Grab
so
him by
you
the
need
foot.
an acrobatics check. As you climb up on top of him, you see Borinth looking down at the ice wall, and the ice wall, you see this protrusion sticking through the ice wall, and while you hadn't seen a figure before, you see like a hand reaching out to Borinth.
Nope.
Nope.
Natural 20. Why did I
Natural
waste it here?
20.
I'm gonna grab his leg, stop him, pull him down.
Do you?
Yeah.
Roll a
take my natural
acrobatics
20
or
away from
athletics,
me.
whichever you prefer.
What am I?
Acrobatics or athletics, whichever you prefer.
Uh-oh, that's not gonna be good.
You're free.
Not against his natural 20 at least.
I'm free.
And you got to roll to
Against the contestant.
against it to contest it.
Acrobatics.
18.
18. Your choice, acrobatics or athletics.
Mikolash.
16.
Mikolash.
16.
I'm going
He
with it.
grabs hold of your foot, and he's got you on top. You're on top of his shoulders at this point, and you go to leap, and he's like holding you there, and you don't fall. You start to lean, and you're so dexterous. You're like just kind of like standing on his shoulders like this, and you look down, and you can see the hand on your hand. Go ahead.
Mikolash.
What?
I'm going with him.
With who? What?
And I'm gonna reach out my hand and I'm gonna grab the hand that is reaching out to me.
Why am I part of this deal?
Just tell the others to follow me.
Follow us
Well, you're right there next to me. I mean, after.
You're like one and the same.
I'll go with
Yeah.
Okay, that is Mikolaj. Simon, you are up.
We're gonna be bonded for this one.
Okay, I'm gonna move forward 30. Give them Nicola. I'm gonna cast Wall of Force.
Okay.
Centered here. It's a 10-foot radius. I think I can get that guy and these 3 guys.
So use the. You've got some flames over there. I know they're not flames, but let's use those anyway.
Well, I mean, this is definitely larger.
No, but I mean, don't you have some?
Oh yeah,
Actual flames. Yeah.
Use those. If you need more, let me know. I know it's not a flames, but just as a to represent what it looks like. Okay, refresh my memory what it does, please.
Okay. Invisible Wall of Force. I'm going to create it as a 10-foot radius sphere, so it'll go around the ground and everything. Nothing can physically pass through the wall. It is immune to all damage and can't be dispelled by dispel magic. Only a disintegrate spell destroys the wall instantly. The wall extends into the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel through the wall.
Awesome.
So no spells, no movement, no nothing.
Okay, very cool. The how high is it?
It's a 10-foot sphere.
Oh, it's a sphere. Oh, very cool. Okay, awesome.
Does that stop the ice wall?
Not up there.
Yeah, but if he has the concentration has to pass through it.
I am not exactly sure on that.
Okay, never mind. Just assume the ice wall's there.
That's concentration.
I don't.
Wall of ice is concentration, but I don't know.
Once it's there, it's there, right?
I think thoughts still travel through it. I'm not.
Is
not
it
sure.
there when you walk away and like don't look at it? Like if you can't see the area, does it stay?
If you can't see a wall of force, is it there?
No, I mean the ice. Like if you cast ice wall and you leave, does the ice wall stay there, or does it?
I think it lasts for a certain amount of time.
It's magical. It doesn't follow natural laws.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. I think it's weird it's concentration, because if you built the wall of ice, wouldn't it just stay there? It's now a wall of ice.
How does flame walls work? Is it concentration?
Yeah, but that's more magic because it's being consumed.
Maybe the ice is
Ice would
flowing.
not melt immediately.
Maybe the ice is flowing in a
we don't,
magical
you know, we could
fashion.
get into the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah.
Okay, the that is Zyman. Very cool. Borinth, you are up. What are you doing?
I'm going with it.
So describe to me what you do.
So you said a hand is reaching through?
Yes, a hand reaches through the ice. And it's,
I'll grab it.
you reach up and you grab the hand, and it feels like death.
Okay.
You feel cold racing through your body. Literally, like death.
Do I feel that? Because he's got his hand on my leg.
You look down and you see ice racing through his hand.
Oh no.
And it looks just like death.
Borinth? Borinth?
I guess once I feel that, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. One's gonna be like, hell no! I'm gonna take my hammer. I'm gonna smash into the hand.
Roll it.
I can't. I mean,
Yeah, you can't.
I mean, how can I?
It
You know,
feels
What, are you
like
just
death.
gonna die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Borinth chooses to die.
If it was a magic carpet ride,
He
then
can, call, he can call the Odin and see what can
31 to
happen.
hit.
Maybe we'll start fighting back and
31.
forth.
Your hand is gripped, and you reach up with you got your hammer, and you just slam down into the wall and into the hand at the same time, and it just like crashes into the wall and into the hand. Tell me how much damage you do.
17 points of damage.
17 points of damage.
the wall starts to shatter. You think about just slightly less than half of the wall shattered, and the hand quickly lets go, and you feel the blood rushing back into your hand.
I didn't let go.
Oh, you didn't let go.
No.
Okay, you still feel this racing up your arm then. The two of you are gripped hand in hand.
I'm gonna chop down
Okay, you
again
did
with my-
17 points.
I'll chop down with my second attack onto it.
Okay, and wait, do you do any extra damage against undead?
No.
Okay.
That is 22, 24 to hit.
24 more points of damage
Nope,
on top.
that's just a hit. That's the second.
Oh, 24
the
hit.
second attack on it. So as he tries to let go, I hold on to it, and I'm going to take and chop down again on it.
Okay, you hit. You feel like you were. It was a tough hit, but you still managed to hit.
18 points of damage.
18 points of damage on top of the previous 17. You could see some cracks in the hand, but it's obviously still intact.
But did the wall change?
Oh,
You said before
the wall. So another set, because you were like hitting both at the same time.
Yeah.
So you did a total of 28, 35. About 3/4 of that section of the wall have like started. It's very, very thin at this point.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's it. And
Okay.
I'll let go of the hand now.
Oh, you let go of the hand. The hand pulls out and starts going down the. This one turns around and turns and faces this way. This one turns and goes down and descends. And these shapes seem to like almost interlock with one another. At that point, right over in this area, a storm descends down upon these individuals.
As a bonus action, can
Yes.
I yell out, Balder! I couldn't go with them! They're deaf! Kill them all!
I toss you a coin, but I don't have it.
I got a stack.
This
I need to make you
just
more.
tons of this ice and sleet come pouring down on the cluster of you guys standing right there. It's just devastating, and all of you, the 1, 2, 3, 4 of you roll a dex save as this just crap comes
would've been
out
on
of
camera.
the sky,
You would've seen
pouring down.
Natural 20!
Natural
Yes!
20! Huzzah!
Still
Dex
making
save.
contact.
Yes, sir, a dex save.
21.
21. So you're going to take no damage again. The monk finally gets his comeuppance. Okay.
So that had to have been
Who?
from
What did you
these
roll?
3.
I rolled a natural
Right.
20, so
Natural
I saved.
20.
Because he
Okay.
can't cast
So,
spells.
We don't
It
know.
had to have been from these 3.
We don't know if we can't.
54 halved, you take 27 points of damage. Half cold, half bludgeoning. Baldur,
I did a 12.
a 12, you take 54. 27 cold, 27 bludgeoning if it matters. Mattias, what was your save?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, you saved. You take 27, half cold, half bludgeoning. And that is the opponents at this point. They hold their position right there. That is the opponents. Mattias, you are up.
Right then.
Remember, you heard me yell.
Death incarnating. The side excuses for death these would be then if they take physical form.
I'm assuming you made your con save, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Luckily. That was a lot of
Bringing the
damage.
shield, Matthias just strides forward towards the
Even
group
with the
of,
save.
towards where I assume that at least one of the figures I can still discern where it is.
Yeah, you can absolutely discern where they are. You see that they're invisible, so you're gonna have disadvantage on your attack. But you stride forward, and you can see the steps in the ground and the swirls around where it is. And you've got 3 figures there, and 3. Well, you don't know.
not figures, 3 swirls of mass in the invisibility in the night that you can swing away at, if you will.
Matthias will do a little flourish and then swing, just without even saying another word.
Roll away.
Okay. Okay, so let's see.
Do all 3. Do all 3 attacks. Go for it.
I'm trying to. I want. Listen. I need to check on things, okay? Okay, so I just need to confirm 3 plus 2 plus 5. That's plus 11, so that's 17.
A 17. You swing. You feel your sword cut into what almost feels like ice as you clash into it. It doesn't seem to do any damage. It's almost like you feel almost like you're striking a shield wall. It doesn't make sense to you, but it feels almost like you're striking a shield wall.
Well then, this is a rather interesting development.
You have 2 more attacks.
Matthias will try striking low and thrusting upward.
Okay, you strike low and roll away. How low do you go? How low, when you say you strike low, what do you do?
How low can
He basically does what essentially a fencing lunge.
Okay, so you're still level with the torso. Understood. You're not like on the ground or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
Okay, rolling. That's a 14. That's not gonna hit.
You feel your sword push into what almost feels like a shield.
Okay, and third attack. 24.
A 24. You push into the shield. It you feel like give, almost as if it was between 2 shields, but it doesn't strike home.
Matthias raises his own shield and stands resolute as he faces this unknown opponent.
Understood. Party allies. This guy is probably unconscious at this point. Somebody roll a death save for him, please. Boulder, you are up.
Who wants the honor?
I'll do it. Because I got him into this mess.
Yeah. Okay.
You got it. That's a 4.
Boy. Yeah.
Okay,
We'll knock him out.
one.
One step to death.
Yeah.
Boulder, you are up.
Oh, man. Alright, I guess I will cast Shatter on them.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Very nice.
And so they just gotta make a, was it con save of 17?
Con save of
Is he coming?
17. I don't know. You tell me,
yeah,
boss.
Shatter's con.
Con.
Yes.
Okay. A 6, a 9, and an 11. I'm gonna say those are all fails.
Those were cons. No?
Yeah.
So we got 6, 10, 12 damage to each. 3.
Okay. 12 more to one of them, 12 to another, and 12 to another.
Doesn't Shatter have an additional effect on certain types of objects?
Stone, constructs.
Oh,
of
stone, crystal, and metal.
Does it affect constructs?
Is it constructs or just stone, crystal, and metal?
Just creature made of inorganic material.
Inorganic.
They seem to take slightly more damage.
Alright. Oh, okay, the stone, crystal, or metal are examples, but anything organic.
Yep.
I got you.
Inorganic.
Yeah.
They seem to take a lot more damage.
Alright.
Okay, but they're still up. One of them, well, you can't tell. It's an invisible object.
I don't know what
The
happened.
wind looks like it's been battered.
There's a spot with no snow anymore.
There's that.
One of the leaves doesn't kick up like it usually should.
Mikolash, you are up. What are you doing?
From Warren's shoulders, I would like to jump off and land.
And grab him again. Sorry,
you
I know. I
going?
took away your.
I'm gonna jump and I'm gonna use
I
my
didn't think it was gonna
reaction for slow fall.
Okay,
So
that's what I was about
it's
to ask.
30 feet plus a 10-foot wall, so that's 40. My monk level is 8 times 5, it's 40, so I negate any falling damage.
Understood. Where are you going to end up?
I'll land flat right here.
Okay.
I mean, I guess as I'm going down, I'm looking at crunched footprints of some sort, trying to get an idea that I'm not falling on something.
Roll
but it's
a
fast, so I
roll
realize
an investigation check with disadvantage.
I realize
I mean,
it's fast.
you're
It's happening
I
very
mean,
quickly.
you're slow, but you know, it's you've got maybe best case 60 feet visibility, and you're falling 40 feet, and it's all happening pretty quick.
Kick.
Okay.
WWE.
That's not bad though.
Two-leg drop kick.
15.
A 15. You see 3 sets of, as you're slow falling down, 3 sets of them, and there's one with its near the ladder. You don't know which way it's facing, what have you.
I'll do my best to size up a place where I think I could hit it.
Okay.
But I'm going to put a lot into this punch. I'm gonna do my best to try to stunning strike it.
Okay, so put me your figure where it is, just so I have an idea.
But don't knock over the walls.
There you go. This is like
Operation, yeah.
Okay, let's just push it slightly that way. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
You have advantage on your attack.
Okay. It's a stunning strike is an attack. Yeah, okay, yeah. So 12 plus 7, 19.
19! You're bam! You feel your hand hit into this cold. It's almost like you're hitting a set of armor, and you just connect and you feel some of it crunch underneath your hand, but just barely. Roll your damage.
So,
and this one was.
Save, right?
I make a melee attack, and this one, you need to make a con save of 15.
A con save of 15.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have to hit, and then I make the stunning strike.
Well, you hit.
Yeah.
So let me hit,
Yeah,
roll damage.
you already hit.
You hit.
Yeah,
that
so
was
then
your
you
hit.
use the key point for the
Okay.
stunning
So your
strike.
key point,
So I'd roll damage.
stunning
and
strike.
then stunning
Now
strike.
I make the con save.
Gotcha.
Got it. Okay, and I roll a 7 plus 3, 10.
Stunned.
10 fails.
A 10.
Stunned.
He is stunned. So that is the one on the end who was wounded.
And 5 damage from me.
Understood, and 5 more points of damage to him. Understood.
Following that, I will scamper away.
Understood.
Is it half terrain, half movement in this terrain?
No, it's not that
No,
much snow.
nope,
It's not.
nope,
It's just
nope,
like a dust.
nope,
storm.
it's
not
regular.
Actually,
Okay, this is just to remind me that that one way over there is stunned.
Okay. I'll go just here. Yeah. I can cover a lot of distance.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Understood. That is Mikolash's turn. Zyman, you are up.
I'll take a couple steps back.
Yep, he's just doing the do-si-do over there.
And I kind of saw where Mikolash came down, and I will shoot a scorching ray over there.
Understood.
The first one will be straight up since I'm using my familiar. The other 2 will be at disadvantage since they're invisible, right?
Yes.
No bonuses because it's stunned, right?
First
spells.
one, 14 to
You
hit.
should have been at a disadvantage on your attack, but it's all good.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, it was advantage and disadvantage. It should have worked out. It was a wash because they're invisible.
A 14, a 21, and a 22 to
A
hit.
14. What is these you're doing?
Scorching ray.
Scorching ray. The 14, it just seems to go wide. What were the other 2?
21 and a 22.
A 21 and actually, they both impact at the angle that you're attacking from. They seem to almost like slam against it, and nothing seems to happen. It's almost, you feel like
21?
it's slammed into like some type of shield wall or something like
I
that.
think you can attack him from the front.
Okay, anything else, Zyman?
No.
Zyman, that is-
Perplexion.
Borinth, you are up. You're up on top.
What is going on?
Mikolash is gone. The wall in front of you is crumbled, but not completely exposed.
Is it enough for me to see over, like through it or down from it?
Not really. It's still, it's opaque at this point.
Okay. To drink a potion, is that an action or a bonus action?
Action, unless you're on the TV show Critical Role. And if we ever get there,
I just don't remember. Okay.
In honor, yeah. If we get there, we'll make it a bonus.
If you want to hire us, then it'll be a bonus action. But until that point, rules is written, it's an action.
Okay. That sucks because I can't see anything around this wall. Then I have that wall in front of me, so I have to just knock the wall down, I guess.
It looked like it was damaged.
Yeah, I know. I because he said 3/4. I don't know if that meant I could see through it or if that was like solid.
Yeah, I'm
So
just trying to give you a
I'll just
guesstimate
take
about how much
it.
ice is left.
I'll just hit the wall.
Try to jump over it.
26.
Sirenscape, give us some bashing sounds, not just magic sounds.
Yeah, 26 to hit.
A
With
26 slams into the ice.
22 points of damage.
22. The section right that was in front of you before just collapses. Shards go falling down below.
Okay, so that's open then, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I will use my movement to move down the ladder.
Okay, you can easily get down. You have like 40 feet of movement. You probably have
Yeah.
another 10 feet left over.
Okay, so I will move down the ladder here, and I will use my. Oh, Jesus.
And you clearly, it's okay.
It's the
It's
wall
all
he
good.
broke. And hit
you
this
clearly
one.
see
Yeah.
what you saw before, right there.
So I'll hit that
Their
one from
backs
behind
are
with my
to
second
you.
attack.
Their shields are interlocked, facing forward.
Okay. Okay, so then I'll take my second attack on the back of that one.
Sure.
As I go down. 18, 19, 20 to hit.
A 20 hits. It connects.
Okay.
And that one was the one that was
Nice. 21 points of damage.
21 points of damage. Roll a DC, roll a dex save, sir.
Okay. Oh, that's not good. That's cocked. Oh, that's not good either. 10.
10. This thing right in front of you explodes. Shards of ice go flying off of it and splash into you. You take 7 points of slashing damage. Are you raging? I forget.
No, I'm not.
No, 7 points of slashing damage and another 10 points of cold damage. Mattias, you take roll a
17 total? Is that
yes,
right?
17 total. Mattias, roll a dex save, please.
Dex save, okay. Natural 20.
Natural 20. You take 3 points of slashing damage and I think 5 points of cold damage as shards of ice come flying at you from your right front. You see Borinth beyond. He exploded one of these creatures. Okay. Is everybody having a good time?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everybody terrified?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
This is good. This is good. This is good.
Okay. Okay, I'm having a good time. I appreciate it. Everybody's patience. Zyman, we'll start with you. What was your highlights?
I really liked using Wall of Force. Finally, I've had it.
That's a good.
I've had it
spell.
in the book for a while. I think we probably began pretty laced with damage right now. If 4 of those guys weren't locked away.
Yeah.
I'm looking for.
You're good battlefield control. I mean, that's
Yeah.
you bring a lot to the table.
That's what it is at this point, because I can rarely match any kind of damage that anybody else does, nor do I need to. But if I can isolate things, that's fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to talking to Sigismund after all this is over. And
Why
night.
after?
the night. Well,
Oh.
because I don't think it would be wise for me to leave mid-battle to have a conversation
No,
with him.
no, I meant like, was there something that you feel like you didn't get a chance to?
Well, he's a former or retired Knights Templar that
Yeah.
might have some information about
Yeah.
Guillaume and
okay.
what happened and everything else.
Yeah.
So like I'm looking forward to that after you get turned into an ice monster.
Yeah. It's happening. I've already taken 67 points of damage in this fight.
You're 11.
We'll find somebody to resurrect.
You're level 11, right?
Correct.
2,000 experience points, sir. Ryan, did you have a good time?
Of course.
What was your highlight?
No highlight. Balder is upset. This whole plan is stupid.
Are you joking or are you for real?
No, I'm saying Balder does not think any of this was a good idea. Nothing is going to come of killing any of these people. And I think we should have thought this out thoroughly, and we did not. And now this guy gets to live, which is great.
Well, he's not
We'll figure that out.
Now,
We'll figure that out after we live through this, hopefully. Then we'll figure out a plan.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I hope you do have a good time.
No, obviously as a player, I have a good time.
Okay, 1,000 experience
As a character,
points.
he can't be happy about this plan.
Joe, we miss you. Hopefully you can be here next time in 2 weeks. Chris, did you have a good time?
Yes.
What was your highlight, sir?
I did some cool stuff with Mikolash. He got his first evasion. He got his first.
Yeah,
strike,
that
I
worked
feel.
out. You got 2 evasions in there. Your first, you got 2. Those worked out wickedly well.
Yeah, I was actually very excited to use those. I think it's very interesting. These are invisible, and then Boren shouted out they're just men. So I'm really curious what that means. We're obviously fighting them, and we plan to kill them. So I hope we get something out of that. But in the moment, I'm very curious.
Okay, very cool.
I'm excited for that.
2,000 experience points, sir.
What did you say I got?
1,000. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, not 2,000. You're that was Joe. If Joe was here, 3,000 experience. You're level 8, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, 3,000 experience points, sir.
Thank
Brian, did you have a good time?
Yeah, I had a great time.
What was your highlight?
It was great just to be able to get some of my history and make a connection to the world again. You know, I thought that was a lot of fun. Yeah, and you know, I know I upset Balder, but it's just a lot of fun. The dynamics of the group is a lot of fun. So it was fun.
Come on, that hammer's spooky, man. What's up with that hammer, man?
It was my kid hammer.
Why is it on the wall?
Because my dad put it there.
Which means he lived.
Or
He
maybe-
lived through the
I mean,
fight.
I want to know what's
He came
happening
back-
too, but
He came back
I
home
want to know
looking
what
for
happened
you.
too. But
Or maybe your memories have been altered.
we
Maybe
can't
that-
let this place just, you know,
Maybe this
be
place is
tortured like
making
this.
you think.
No, it's
We gotta find out what's up with the hammer.
yeah. No, maybe.
Hit one of these guys with it.
Funny if I ran around with a toy hammer.
1,000 experience.
That's what you
points, Brian.
resurrect.
Reiner, did you have a good time?
Tom, I'm gonna
I did. I had a very good time.
just to give you some back.
Oh,
Cash
you're a
these
great
in.
American. Awesome. What is that? So you got 1,500 experience points, sir. Matthias, what was your highlight? Reiner.
A couple of things. Getting to go a little bit into Matthias and his starting to dig back into Matthias's quixotic tendencies. And of course, that whole thing in the tavern was a lot of fun. And I like that it kind of added a bit to a few people's character, to a few of the characters here, because that's always something good in my book.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. 1,000 experience points, Reiner.
Thank you.
Guys, I had a great time. This was actually one of the funner games that I've had in a little while. It might seem overwhelming to you, but it had some really good role play. I thought it had some good role play. Granted, I enjoyed writing the town. So, I mean, there were some things that I wrote in there that I thought were creative that we kind of touched on, but we didn't really use. But it was still fun for me to use it. I mean, creating this gnarly little squirmy character, bringing back Sigismund, who you had met, who you had met. I mean, that to me was cool. Obviously, Kip's wall, Kip, wherever you are in the world, Kip Mark. I had been planning this for a very long time, so to me it was just fun. If you had just walked past it, I would have let you walk past it. But it was Mark did a phenomenal job printing all of this, and obviously I painted it after that. So it was. I'm glad it got to, even if you just walk away now, that it got some use out of it. So it was a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was some great role play, even though there was some kind of disagreement on history and so forth, which it's not metagaming, but it's delving into other players' agency over their character. I still loved it. I thought it was great.
No, yeah. Because it was an interesting dynamic of.
I certainly didn't mean to.
Yes, your players, but how the characters.
No, I don't think you did. It's just that I think that it brought up a good point that people's memories are their memories. I mean, and it's one of those things. I always tell you this. I always say to Ryan, I've said to you since you were a kid, how many sides to every story are there? And the answer is not 2, but 3.
Yeah.
Because there's one side, there's the other, and then somewhere in there, it might be all the way over here, it might be all the way over here, is the truth. Because how we perceive it is not reality.
And Borinth and Mattias's backgrounds are so different. Like, Borinth is just like the history is written in the favor of the ones who wrote the history.
No argument.
And
it
so,
really is.
We are the people that are struggling and dying, and we're just labeled as the what they want to get rid of. I mean, it's like,
and it makes
the tale of history, right?
It makes sense that Mattias would believe
his
version of
that's the way I
see it.
It plays out very well.
It makes perfect sense.
Completely literal, but he certainly doesn't. He certainly isn't aware of like possibilities like what you're describing.
Right. Yeah.
What he's not saying. When I was doing that thing, it wasn't that he is only going by rote memory and believing just what was written down, though there is an element of that. It's that to him, the idea that this could be happening and it wouldn't be heard of is inconceivable.
Okay.
Yeah, makes
fair
sense.
enough. It's all good.
Like someone like the Teutons coming down here to attack this village. Somebody would speak up about it somewhere.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I get it. Well, guys, I hope everybody had a good time.
Yeah,
I'm going to wrap it up here. I do have some diatribe. So thank you for watching Seven-Sided Dice Carpathian Adventure. I hope I don't lose my voice here at the end. If I do, I apologize. Again, we would like to thank Sirenscape for the use of their audio sound effects. That's www.syrinscape.com. Thank you, artists Yenu and Silky Noir, for their terrific character art. Please patronize them via the @Yenu Draws on Instagram, @Yenu on Tumblr and Twitter, and patronize Silky Noir on DeviantArt. Please comment in the Twitch chat room, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube. While we do this strictly for fun, please let us know how we might improve this stream. Lastly, please follow us on Twitch, on Instagram. Please like on Facebook and on YouTube, and please subscribe on YouTube. As we leave you, I've got a couple moments, so please indulge my periodic diatribe. In a recent forum, a player posted, quote, "My character says they are casting a spell, knowing that there is an opposing creature that can counterspell it. Do I have to state my character is using a bonus action or an action to cast the spell before the DM decides to counterspell or not?" Unquote. Rules as written. No, you don't have to tell your DM whether you are casting using an action or a bonus action, though it might be obvious by which spell you cast, since it's in the spell description. However, as a courtesy to a DM, that would be nice to tell them what you're doing. Doing so makes the DM's job of validating what you want to do versus what you can do easier. Again, you don't have to, though, as the rules are written. As I'm not here to beat the players, I prefer that they clearly announce what they're doing. But again, rules as written, they don't have to. Having said that, there might be also something else here to address. If you don't trust your DM to fight fair and not use the extra information neutrally, or to give you the benefit of the doubt, then you have an out-of-game issue. you don't trust your DM. That should be resolved with your DM before it becomes a conflict. Trusting your DM and them trusting you to play honestly and create an environment where both feel comfortable openly sharing information is a hugely undervalued element of collaborative gaming. Much like in any relationship to a certain degree, except by those who have trust issues, trust is established over time. At the beginning of any relationship, there is an assumption of trust. It might be a low-level assumption, but there's an assumption of trust. As time passes and as individuals grow to understand one another, trust deepens. However, trust is relatively fragile. It can be easily broken. Concealing information that the DM should know, cheating with roles, knowingly taking away player agency, reading ahead in the DM's adventure, precipitously changing your interpretation of the rules, etc., etc., are all ways to break trust at a table where trust has already been established. I would also argue that some of the actions are far more egregious if they occur later in a relationship than if they occur at the beginning of a relationship. In the latter, trust may not have been established. As such, the behavior may not weigh as heavily. Plus, it's just easier to walk away from relationships in which one does not have a significant investment. However, in the former, once trust has been established, any deviation might be perceived as a greater violation of that trust. Walking away is also more difficult and more painful. Such is the sunk cost fallacy, as relationships, to include those in a gaming group, are often more about investing time than money. Furthermore, once broken trust is incredibly hard to restore, if it can be restored at all. I would argue that in many cases, it can't be. So, in the end, D&D is not a player versus the DM game. Much like in the improv, falling backward exercise, players and DMs must trust one another. If they don't, it will quickly become evident. I will end my diatribe there. Always remember, in the Carpathian Adventure, the journey is the destination, and we will continue the journey in 2 weeks. So for now, thank you for watching. Roll a 7-sided die, and have a great night.
Play some Dungeons & Dragons!